Oh.
हुए तो तुम ज्वाइन अप का
Hello, girls. Is my voice audible? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ifra, 99 participants we have reached. So I think we should begin.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ifra Mir, Assistant Professor of Anjuman-I-Islam, Begum, Jamila, Haji, Abdul College of Home Science from Department of Food Science and Nutrition. I would like to extend my warm greetings to everyone for celebrating International Women's Day. I would like to begin webinar by introducing about our college. Our college is affiliated to SNDT Women's University, which is located in historical Anjuman-I-Islam's campus at CSMT Mumbai.
1 minute, 1 minute. Ifra, there is a lot of noise. Hello, students. Kindly please keep yourself on mute. Okay. Yes. Continue.
Yes, ma'am. Our college is affiliated to
Ifra, you are on mute.
Ifra, please.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Okay. Now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Our college is affiliated to SNDT Women's University, which is located in historical Anjuman-I-Islam campus at CSMT Mumbai. Our mission is to empower women through comprehensive and accessible education, fostering personal resilience and entrepreneurial skills for holistic growth and self-reliance. And our mission is to empower women through holistic education. March 8th is marked as International Women's Day to honor achievement and contribution of women throughout history. The date has historical significance as it is originated from labor movement and women's fight for better working conditions in early 20th century. Over the time, it has evolved into a global day of recognition of women's social, economic, cultural, and political achievement. This year's theme is Inspire Inclusion, which encourage everyone to recognize the unique perspective and contribution of women from all walks of life and ensure that women have equal opportunity, rights, representation across various domains such as education, employment, politics, and decision making. Now, I would like to again extend my warm greetings to everyone. Let's begin our webinar with National Anthem followed by Anjuman Tarana and SNDT anthem. I would like to request everyone to stand for national anthem.
Ifra?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we all are standing for national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
अंजुमन अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
बुलबुले हम हैं और ये हमारा चमन
हमारा चमन बुलबुले हम हैं और ये हमारा चमन हमारा चमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
हिंद की आबरू शान इस्लाम की शम्मा जलती है यहाँ प्यार के नाम की
शम्मा जलती है यहाँ प्यार के नाम की
हमको हाजत नहीं कोई इनाम की आरज़ू है फकत इल्म के जाम की इल्म के जाम की
बुलबुले हम हैं और ये हमारा चमन हमारा चमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
इल्म दौलत है अज़मत है इंसान की इल्म इज्जत है हिंदू मुसलमान की
इज्जत है हिंदू मुसलमान की
इल्म राहत है दीन और ईमान की इल्म ज़ीनत है हर दिल की हर जान की
इल्म ज़ीनत है हर दिल की हर जान की
बुलबुले हम हैं और ये हमारा चमन
हमारा चमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
अंजुमन अंजुमन
Requesting Ifra and Mr. Hussain to kindly add Aisha Bai College.
संस्कृता श्री पराशक्ति स्वर हमारा है.
The students kindly raise.
संस्कृता श्री पराशक्ति स्वर हमारा है. विश्व है परिवार भारत घर हमारा है. विश्व है परिवार भारत घर हमारा है. हम नहीं है दीन कहता कौन हम अबला. है सबल संस्कृति हमारी हम सभी सबला. ज्योति से जगमग हुआ अंतर हमारा है. विश्व है परिवार भारत घर हमारा है. स्वप्न ठाकर सी हुआ साकार है इसमें. महर्षि करवे तपस्या सार है इसमें. हम दिशाएं और ये दिनकर हमारा है. विश्व है परिवार भारत घर हमारा है. संस्कृता श्री पराशक्ति स्वर हमारा है. विश्व है परिवार भारत घर हमारा है. विश्व है परिवार भारत घर हमारा है.
Welcome again. Now to begin with our session, I would like to first introduce our respected Dr. Asya ma'am, our principal of our college. Dr. Asya Ahmed Radiowala is highly qualified and experienced educator in the field of home science with a strong background in extension education. She holds a BSc and MSc in extension education, a diploma in early childhood care and education, NET and PhD in home science. Dr. Radiowala has an impressive career span of 24 years in teaching and 21 years in administration. Her academic journey includes 24 years of teaching in our college. Also has few years of experience in postgraduate teaching at Postgraduate Department of Extension Education and Department of Distance Education at SNDT Women's University. Since 2011, she has been serving as our in-charge principal of our college. Ma'am has been recognized for her excellence in teaching and received Best Teacher Award from management of Anjuman-I-Islam. Her research contributions are notable with presentation in more than 10 and more than 7 international conferences, along with publication in various research journals and books. Dr. Asya ma'am demonstrated leadership by successfully conducting 2 technical sessions at national level as a moderator at SNDT Women's University. She has also served as a jury member for a prestigious Tilavati Award conducted by All India Council of Technical Education on 2 occasions. Additionally, she holds the role of an executive member of Nutrition Society of India, Mumbai chapter, showcasing her involvement in professional organization related to her field. Overall, her distinguished career reflects her steadfast commitment to academic, particularly in domain of home science and extension education, as well as her dedication to women's education. Thank you, ma'am. Now, as our ma'am have mentioned, our Dr. Zahir Qazi sir is currently busy, so we will skip his introduction. Once sir join, I will ask ma'am to introduce him.
Yes, I would like to, on a professional note, I would like to welcome Professor Kishore, Amina Kishore madam, all over joining us from Hyderabad. And welcome ma'am. And I would also like to welcome Aisha-Bai College of B.Ed. Their students and faculty members have joined us as we have an MOU with them for student exchange and faculty exchange program. So welcome you, Aisha-Bai College, B.Ed College of Education. And now over to Ifra to formally welcome and introduce our esteemed speaker, Professor Amina Kishore Madam.
Without further delay, I would like Mrs. Pradnya Choprekar, Assistant Professor from Food Science and Nutrition Department, and our NSS Program Officer to introduce our first esteemed speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Pradnya Choprekar, Program Officer of NSS Unit. I take the opportunity to introduce our today's first eminent speaker, Professor Amina Kishore. Professor Amina Kishore ma'am has completed her master degree in English and PhD from Aligarh Muslim University. She was the principal at Women's College, Aligarh Muslim University from year 2001 to 2007 and was appointed as professor on Maulana Azad chair at Maulana Azad National Urdu University, Hyderabad. She was actively involved in number of academic activities like curriculum design, course design, arranging and conducting workshops on research methodology, seminar, conferences, etc. Ma'am has guided 6 PhD scholars and 13 MPhil students, evaluated a number of MPhil dissertations and PhD theses at various universities. Various research articles and review articles have been published in reputed journal by Professor Amina Kishore ma'am. She has also taken interest in translating various poems and biography of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan in Telugu language. Ma'am was an active member of various committees like Female Education Association, UGC committees for project evaluation, member of Old Girls Association at MAU, and many more. After her fabulous career in academics, ma'am retired as the Dean's School of Languages, Literature and Ideology at Maulana Azad National Urdu University in 2011. I am delighted to welcome such great personality, Professor Amina Kishore. We welcome you, ma'am, in our today's webinar on the topic Empowering Girls Through Education, Breaking Barriers to Access and Success. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming. Over to you, ma'am.
Is it okay? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, we can see you and we can hear you also.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon.
Alaikum assalam.
Let me begin by thanking you from SNDT, from by Haji Abdul Begum, Jamila Haji Abdul College for Home Science. And thank you, Dr. Asia, personally, for connecting me to a program which is close to my heart. Speaking to young students is something that I think we all look forward to. And in my retired life, this is our oasis. Whenever I get to speak to young people, I feel so very happy. Thank you very much. And
thank you. It is a pleasure and honor for us, for you to join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And the occasion is great also. You could not celebrate it on the 8th of March, but every day is a Women's Day for me. And therefore, my greetings on Women's Day to all those young people out there, the teachers, young dynamic teachers, and the students who have gathered today to interact with us. I have been a teacher and also an educational administrator. And therefore, students have been always the focus of my attention. And I think you can understand when I say that I'm very, very excited today. Each year, whenever we come across, turn the corner to March, the first week of March, you start hearing about Women's Day and the International Women's Day. We have speeches, we have congratulatory words, we have assurances. Government comes up with many, many new schemes, and corporates and the NGOs jump in with so many exciting programs. Marathons are arranged, and walkathons are arranged, and these catchy slogans. That is again something that has become quite a tradition. Like Dr. Ifra just now said, this year's slogan is Inspire Inclusion. And if you look at the older slogans, I think many young people should be curious to see if 24 is Inspire Inclusion, what was 23, what was 22. I suggest that you look at those slogans because they are very catchy, very attractive, and you feel it's a feel good kind of a thing where you know that government is coming up with these kind of themes and these kind of schemes. Uh, uh, in institutions also, in almost every institution nowadays, you see centers for women's studies coming up, and Department of Women's Studies, Gender Studies, and programs around women, and the universities coming up with new incentives for working women. You feel so good with so many things. But let me share with you. I think at my age, I'm all of 77, and at my age, I'm sorry if I sound a little skeptical. So let me share a little of my skepticism with you. Let me share a little of my anxiety with you. You can call it a worry of an old woman, but yes, I am worried that in spite of so many dynamic things happening, in spite of so many words being spoken, we tend to behave as though women's empowerment through education is something of a very, very current origin. Whereas I know when you look at your own college, when I look at the college that I was principal of in Aligarh, when we look at all these educational institutions, most of them are about 100 years old. We celebrated our centenary at Aligarh in 2006. So that means that more than 100 years ago, more than so many years, eons ago, I think we already were speaking of women's education and women's empowerment, etc. And still we speak the same language. So this stasis, this kind of a point where we haven't perhaps moved ahead. So this is the flavor that I come to feel when when I look at all these speeches being delivered year after year. And then I wonder about the divide. You see, it's very, very common for us to speak about, when we speak of women's education or women's empowerment, we speak in terms of gender divide only. We say boys have done so well and girls are not doing well. Women are backward and men are forward, or the ratios. We look at all these figures and data and ratios, and we say that yes, woman is disempowered in some way, and therefore the glass ceiling has to be broken. We talk of these platitudes, but let me bring you to think about another kind of a divide, which I think is quite important, especially because I am at in a happy place where I am speaking to hundreds of educated young women, hundreds of educated and privileged young women. I'm using a word which is going to be central to my talk with you today. You, I think, and I too, me too. Yes, we are among the privileged women because we have had access to education, access to good education, we have had access to opportunity, and we have succeeded, or we are about to succeed. You're all standing at the brink of a success, of successful careers and successful lives. And so I talk of that divide between us, you and I, and the people who are sitting here today gathered to talk about Women's Day and women's empowerment. I look at the other half. There is a whole big group of women around us who do not have that access, who are not privileged like we are privileged. So I think that is something that worries me, that uh, the gender divide does not worry me so much as the within the gender divide, that is the woman to woman divide, the educated woman against the uneducated, the urban woman against the rural woman, the woman who's working and realizing her potential, and the woman who has no opportunity to work and no opportunity to realize her potential. So where is what is the root cause of this? Education, you can say easily, yes, education. But if you look at the ratio, the percentages of educated women, even among the rural women, education per se is not lacking. Almost every other girl seems to be going to school, and if you look at them, they go to private schools and they want English education. You know that it's happening. But then what is the difference between those underprivileged or those women who have not been succeeding in life and us? What is the difference?
Dear students, kindly mute yourself, please. Yes, ma'am. Kindly continue. Students.
Dr. Amina ma'am, kindly can you unmute yourself?
Ma'am,
Not able to, okay, fine. So
yes, thank you, ma'am.
I feel that the crux of the problem, in my opinion, lies in the quality of education, lies in the kind of teachers that we have, the kind of motivation that our institutions are giving us, the kind of opportunities that the institutions are ready to create for the girls. And this also, I feel that the crux of the problem lies in this notion of topper and non-topper, good and bad student, pass and fail. These are words which are anathema to me. I feel that somehow the educational system has created the non-achiever by means of these kind of systems, and we have to think out of the box to see how we can fight the system. I keep thinking, and when I was working, I used to give my ideas to the authorities, and to some extent, yes, they were accepted, but a lot has to be done. NEP 2020 is a very, very promising document. In that, some things have been said which I would like to see that your institution and my institutions and any good institution should try to adopt. I feel that where access is translated into success is where a woman achieves an education, and the goal of that achieving education, the goal with which she started on that road to achieving education, has to be fulfilled. So what is the goal that you and I have? What is the goal? Is it simply to get a good job, a good salary, a 5-figure salary, a 4-figure salary, a 6-figure salary? Is that all the goal is, in your minds and in any woman's mind? The goal, I think, is to achieve respect, to achieve recognition. That, I think, once it's a fine, she gets into a job, but job plus, salary plus, and that plus is something that gives the woman a sense of self-sufficiency, a sense of self-respect, self-confidence, and that is what I think is success. So the educational institutions have a big responsibility. I think the government has a responsibility also. I'm going to remove those the systems, the systemic features which have a responsibility towards providing the opportunity for success to women. What are those? The government and philanthropists and people in the society who can help. Yes, there are many ways in which institutions can help, but I think that one idea that I can share with you is that an institution should be able to provide good teachers everywhere. How is it possible? One Asia radio wala cannot provide education, good education to everyone in the country, all the women. So if one Asia radio wala is allowed to move from her institute to another for a period of time to provide her services, I'm offering you an idea, this out of the box thinking that I was talking about, that if I can be given a freedom, I would like to go and teach in rural college for some time. If I am given the freedom, I would like to go to another university and teach there. So a system can, educational institution can create this kind of a possibility where a good teacher is available. So good teachers are what make for good education. You know the value of good teaching. Anything that has been realized as a prize that you have taken away or the takeaway from education is the memory of having had a good teacher. And I think that every woman, every student deserves to have that kind of a thing. So this is one idea that we can offer to our institutions. I think you are in a position to offer the idea to your institution. I am in a position to offer my advice to institutions. That's one thing. Secondly, how can the public, how can the society create opportunities for women? Let me ask you one thing. Do we, all of us, even those of us who are in good institutions and studying well, do we know, do we have information about all the schemes that the government brings out? No. Information is lacking. Information is lacking, and society can create that information base. Advertisement, NGOs can take out advertisements. NGOs can approach students and talk to them about these opportunities. And for example, when years back, when Rajiv Gandhi's single girl child scholarship was initiated, it took the colleges and it took the parents some 5 years to realize that there is this good scholarship. In the same manner, this Sukanya Suraksha Yojana that has come up recently from this present government, even that, there are not many takers for this kind of presentations. So it is the role of the public, it is the responsibility of society, and it is the responsibility of parents as members of that society who are interested, not disinterested people outside, but interested parties. They should uh, try to provide information not only to their own children, but it should be a general kind of a thing. An advisement program should be started. So that's again something else. But today I'm interested in asking, what are you going to do for your sisters? I'm asking you, 100 children who are sitting out in front of me, what are you going to do for your underprivileged sisters? You are the first half, the half who has dreamed and realized your dreams. You wanted to be where you are. You are proud to be where you are. But do you think you have a responsibility to those sisters of yours who aspire to be like you, who look up to you as role models, who say, Didi, she is doing that, therefore I also must do that. What are you trying? What can you do? Please think out of the box. Please, again, exercise your mind about, is it enough if I get a seat in a university? Can I give a part of myself to that underprivileged sister? This is, I think, what we must do. Instead of speaking of platitudes, instead of repeating words, instead of merely saying, I'll share with you a group of our old students from alumni or alumnas of AMU, Girls College, Women's College. Um, I think your college and our college must be sharing many, many histories when people, these are colleges which have been set up by people like us, yes, people like us, ordinary, normal people, but who had dreams, who had aspirations, who dedicated their own lives for the sake of other people. For you have heard of Sheikh Abdullah, who was the Bani, who was the founder of Women's College AMU. Not Sheikh Abdullah of Kashmir, but Sheikh Abdullah, who was a disciple of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He and his wife, whom we call Ala Bi, Ala meaning Khala, that is aunt. She took on the role of a near mother, foster mother for many girls. Then the story I'm going to tell you is a story, I think, which is of your college also, of many other colleges. And these are not the only people who have done that. They used to go home to home, door to door, bringing out girls, coaxing them, cajoling them, bringing them out. And they dedicated their whole properties for the sake of these educational institutions that they set up. And those were the times where women's education was unthought of in Aligarh. Those were the days when Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was saying that, oh, women can come later, but yes, right now let me focus on boys' education. Those were the times when Sheikh Abdullah took up. And I'm sure Savitri Phule, you have heard about her. her husband Jyotirao Phule and Savitri Phule, how they worked for women's education. And we consider her to be the mother of modern education in India, isn't it? And you've heard of, let us say, Mahadevi Verma. We have heard of, um, who shall I say, um, Begum Zafar Ali, Begum in Hyderabad also we have this college, Safdariya Begum, who instituted her own institution, her own school. Right now and it always caters to students of lower classes, lower social classes, in the sense of, I don't think there's any child in that school who's, I think the most rich person there is an auto driver, the father. And we take care in that school. I am a member of their committee. We take care in that school to see that there should be no social divide between them. I'm just telling you about this auto driver business, but that's something that we don't talk about in that school. And the girls are so talented, and so, because we send good teachers to them. University teachers go and teach them there. We have NCC people coming out and teaching them. We bring out coaches for various games, and we arrange for coaching programs and workshops, because we think that they should be given the right and equal kind of attention that the other children in the other schools are receiving. I think the government also has been very, very intelligent, very concerned, and in almost all these elite schools, they arrange for a certain percentage of free seats for people below the poverty line. When I speak of below the poverty line, we have had many cases in the recent years where children from very, very poor families have done excellently well in their schools and in their colleges and in their programs. I don't even need to take the names. Your newspapers are telling you, and your YouTubes are telling you all about these young girls who are doing it so very excellently well. I only hope you recognize the truth in what I'm saying. The truth in what I'm saying that I want to point out is excellence is excellence is not the result only of schooling. Excellence is inborn. That excellence only needs to be motivated. That excellence only needs to be brought out. That excellence needs to be established, and it has to be officially recognized. It gets officially recognized when that girl who has that inherent excellence in her gets the opportunity to prove that excellence. So you should act as those motivators, those facilitators who will help the other underprivileged girl to realize her potential. And once she realizes her potential, I'm sure she will control her own life, and she'll gain that self-confidence that she needs, and she'll take her own place in her own time under the sun, as she deserves to. And we generally think of us and them. We generally think of us and them in terms of uh, we come from somewhere and they come from somewhere. And I think that most of us have now stopped thinking that, thanks to our religions, thanks to our cultures, thanks to our families and their values, young people are now able to understand that we have to personally cross that line and think of us and not them at all. Think of us as including them too. That is what is inclusion, and that is what is inspiring about it. This spirit of inclusion, this positivity, when you inculcate it in yourself, then you will cross the line easily, not as any charitable action, not as uh, any action of uh, you know kindness or sympathy, but my favorite word is empathy. And empathy is what you will gain once you understand that there is no us and them, there can be only all of us. That is how I see that. You stand at an you are really privileged in the sense that even those big names that I was just now taking, uh, Pandita Ramabai, and whoever, they faced challenges. They faced challenges. They were almost ostracized. They were they faced gender biases. They were excluded from many things because of what they were trying to do for young women. Women getting education was something that was unthought of in the time of Begum Abdullah. But she faced challenges. She she left her own home and lived with those children to assure the families and assure the society that children are safe here, young girls are safe where we are taking them. So they face those challenges. I think in your time, in your age, in 2024, no, sir, those challenges have disappeared. You are accepted as you are. Women's voices are being heard, and you can make yourself heard. And when you stand at that kind of a juncture, when you can be heard, and I think you must make yourself heard. It is that realization of the power that you wield in your hands today. I was perhaps not so free as you are. Your teachers have not been perhaps as easy in accessing what they wanted as you are. You stand at a privileged position, not because of any wealthy family background or any great power that you have, but because you stand in those times which have already seen inclusions, where inclusion is a word which is already coined, already current. And because that is so, women's activity and women's activism both are being seen in a very positive manner now. There was a time where any working woman also was perhaps looked down on. I remember that when I started to work, uh, I did face a problem about whether I will dress this way or that way, or whether I will speak this language or that language. And I was a South Indian from Hyderabad going to Aligarh to teach, and therefore everything that I did was almost, everything was questioned. I used to let me confess. I used to wear a bindi, and I used to young person at that time, and coming from a city, and thought no end of herself. And I did face many problems in the beginning of my career. But you don't you, compared to the problems that we faced, you are freer. And it's almost like, when I tell young people that if in these times you are shy to do this or shy to do that, then I think you are losing out on so many opportunities. And your educational institutions are offering you such good opportunities. Your educational institutions uh, are institutions where you blossom, you flourish, you flower completely, in the sense that there is absolutely no restriction. And the beautiful teacher student relationship that I see in colleges these days, and in institutions, I am all for. I do not know what you would think. There was a big experience in my early career where a gentleman said that, there should be only co-educational institutions, and only that is good for the health of gender parity, etc. And I had said, no, the girls in the uni-gender institutions are doing excellently well, and they have the opportunity to flourish without any comparison, without any competitiveness between genders. This is my personal feeling. You can think otherwise, but you must use this opportunity. You must use this platform to see whether you can form groups with your fellow students, with the help of your teachers, to act as facilitators and motivators for those others. Can you invite students from other colleges to yours? Can you have I'm not saying teach them or anything. Can you have programs where you give them that plus that I was talking about, the education plus? Can you provide times for them where they can uh, find models from what you are doing and perhaps follow those models? That will help. That has a two-way effect, of course. That will help you to feel good about what you're doing. That will help them to get ideas about what they can do. So this is how I am not talking about courses, and I'm not talking about education as a system. I'm talking about education as a philosophy. Education is a philosophy in the sense that you are gaining not marks, not degrees from the college, but you're gaining a whole culture of growing up in the right way. This is how I see education. Education is something that supports your growth. Education is something that that uh, brings your latent talents into fruition. This is what is education. Your talents are latent, but look at those others who have talent, but those talents do not get the opportunity of any fruition because they have no opportunity. So open those doors, wedge open those doors slowly, open their doors ajar, keep them ajar for some time to let fresh air come in. Let those girls enter into your circles and let those girls get models, get inspiration, get motivation from the activities that you do. Perhaps you can speak to your college authorities that we would like to select 4 or 5 or 10 girls who are our age and who can be with us and spend a week with us, and we in turn would like to go to their institutions and spend weeks with them. Or these are things, what I call out of the box thinking. So think about such things. I'm uh, I'm sure that your colleges are year after year.
Student, please mute from your side.
Ma'am, we cannot hear you. You have gone on mute mode.
Ma'am, kindly unmute.
Yes.
I have done that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So as I said, your tables are laid. Everything is ready for you. You have the feast laid out for you. There is nothing that is lacking at the moment. And if that is so, then invite guests to your feast. If that is so, open the doors of your home, open the doors of your institutions, open the doors of your own selves to those new people who can enter and look at you and learn from you. You are a teacher too, in that sense. But then please look at it as a partnership. Please do not look at it as any philanthropy. Please do not look at it as any sadqa or anything. No, you are going to look at it as a partnership program. And if you invest in such programs, I'm sure you're investing in your own future growth also. What I'm trying to say is add an ethical dimension to your education. Add a, a generous dimension to your education. Be generous. Learn what you have to learn. Learn your disciplines. Be good marks takers. Be good Marxists, as one of my students used to like to say about herself, that I'm a Marxist, that she was not happy with so many marks and she wanted only so many marks. So she was punning on that word. Be that if you want to be. Be the topper that you want to be. Be the leader that you want to be. But your leadership, your activity should be translated into one kind of generosity where you are able to open up yourself to the acceptance of the other. I'm going on saying that because I think that I remember 2 lines by Wordsworth at this point where he said, uh, bliss was it in that time. Bliss was it in that time to be in that dawn. It's not time. Bliss was it in that dawn to be alive. Bliss was it in the bliss was it in,
On mute, ma'am.
they are saying host has muted you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Ifra, please
I'm,
check.
yeah.
Yes.
Now it's all right. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I was saying those 2 lines from Wordsworth. Let me say that and see where I stand. Bliss was it in that dawn to be alive, but to be young was very heaven. This is how I see your position. You are in a heavenly place, in my opinion. Heavenly place in life. Maybe you have you grumble about this bench not being comfortable, that table not being there, and this water being that. Yeah, it's your right. You have your right to grumble. You have your right to complain. But translate all your experiences into something that can be a model for other people. I'm not saying do not complain. I'm not saying do not grumble. Ask, question. Even your religion gives you the right to question, doesn't it? Islam says ask, complain, ask, comment, istijaj. All these things are allowed, yes, but they should be done in a positive manner, and they should translate themselves into action where you see that your complaints are redressed. You find your redressal in the right positive manner possible. That is the essence of education. Being educated, this educatedness, this is a very wonderful kind of a word. Being educated, educating yourself, getting degrees, that's different. But this being educated or achieving educatedness is a quality that you have introduced into your personalities. And once you introduce that quality into your personality, that is oxygen itself. That gives you a life that you never dreamed of before you entered your educational institutions. So look at all these things around you, form motivational groups, uh, be the brainchild, be the brainchild of initiatives. Do not try to follow other people. Think new thoughts. Think of your social responsibilities. This is what I would like to tell my young students. I have been telling that. I have been telling that. Maybe I have repeated myself many times, but my old students come forward and tell me that, ma'am, you taught, but you taught us something book plus. If you taught us Hardy, it was Hardy plus. So that plus is what I'm talking to you about. So go to your programs, initiatives, thinking groups, form them, think of critical thinking. This is important. Be critical, but be positively critical. Do all these things. And I think I wish the best for all of you, in the sense that since you have the potential, realizing the potential would only mean that you have fulfilled not only your educational aspirations, but also your social responsibilities. I'll stop here, and Asia, I would like to know whether they are going to be, the students will speak a little bit and talk to
Yes.
us, or?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Uh,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Can we quickly take a question answer session with your permission?
Yes, why not?
Yeah. Students, you all can start asking the question by unmuting yourself, or you can even put your questions in the chat box. Ma'am, there is one question in the chat box. What are the good qualities of teachers nowadays?
Yes. Let me again use a kind of philosophic turn in the phrase in my answer. A teacher is one who gives. I think a teacher is a giver all her life. Sometimes when we were young teachers, we used to say to each other that we are constantly giving ourselves to them, and we come out drained out of the classes. I don't know if it is correct all the time, but yes, a teacher is someone who can give what she has to you, and because she has received something, she is a generous giver to you. That is a good teacher, in my opinion. Not only one who knows the subject, not only one who is a fountain of knowledge, but one who is a model for her students. If I remember, let me share an anecdote. I don't know the name of the girl who has asked me this question, but let me share an anecdote. Have you all heard of Professor Irfan Habib, a great historian, internationally known figure from AMU? He's a expert in medieval history and Indian history, and this gentleman, uh, he is not only a fine scholar but a fine teacher. And the thing in AMU was that he used to hold classes at 7 o'clock in the morning, beyond the timetable of the college. And 7 o'clock in the morning, the classroom used to be full of students, full. And not only students of history, but students from all disciplines used to crowd into his classes. And they used to go on till 8 o'clock, which is the beginning of the university classes. Now, I used to say that whenever a new student comes up to the college, to the university, the first thing you notice, especially, students who have come across Professor Irfan Habib, the first thing they would do is stand like Irfan Habib stood. He had a way of standing with his hands held, holding his elbow at the back, and then slouching a little bit. He's a very slouchy, old gentleman now. He was younger then. But I used to say, look at this boy who has come into first year BA class. He started standing like Irfan Habib. So this is what I mean. What do I mean by standing like Irfan Habib? He first did that, but I hope that if I follow that boy around in his life, wherever he is at this moment, I'm sure he has done at least a little bit like Irfan Habib. That is what a teacher is. A teacher can be a model for the students.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, there is one more question. What do you mean by ethical dimensions in teaching?
Yes. Ethical dimension is what I meant as teaching plus or studying plus in both. As a teacher and as a student, I would say that unless you make the entry of ethical dimension, let me again give you an example from my own life. I think anecdote is a better way of explaining something. For example, I remember when I was a very young teacher. I was teaching Charles Lamb. You all know Charles Lamb, a very famous English essayist, right? And there was an essay in that in which we were talking about chimney sweepers of England. Little boys used to be sent up into chimneys to clean the soot in chimneys in the homes. That was a custom in England. Describing how black they looked, those children, when they came out of the chimneys after cleaning them. To explain how black they were, he used the word Negro. Fine? This author used the word Negro. And as it happened, in my class, there were two girls from Africa. They were Somalian girls were sitting there. And immediately one of them raised her hand. And she said, ma'am, I object to this word. And my classes used to be like that. The girls used to speak and we used to have a discussion. I said, objection. Yes, let us stop the lesson and look at the objection. I knew the objection. She was at the word Negro there. So she said, ma'am, how can you call him a great writer when he is using this word? So I said, let us stop here. This lesson stops and we are going to have a discussion about why that word has been used and whether we should allow that and what would happen if we did. So, the girls understood me and one or two girls stood up and they spoke about Charles Lamb writing at a time when this word was accepted as such, but today we condemn that word. Therefore, ma'am, can we delete that paragraph and go on with this essay? Can you see what I'm saying? I offered the opportunity for a kind of an ethical approach or a kind of a moral approach or a clean approach to be applied onto our teaching. I stopped the class. I said, objection taken. Let us stop and do. And those two girls, they said, ma'am, can we delete this paragraph? Can we take this paragraph as not being there and continue? Even then, Charles Lamb will be beautiful. So we did that. We told those two girls, today onwards, and there'll be no question from that paragraph, no teaching of that paragraph, we'll delete that paragraph. Do you understand? I hope I'm making my point that ethical dimension is where you are able to think of outside of yourself. And what we call a capacity to understand, empathize with the problem of other people. Those are the dimensions that should be there. I hope I'm satisfactory in my answer, but that is how I think.
Yes, ma'am, very well, very good example. Ma'am, there is one more question. What are the tips for students who are afraid to take initiatives in the class?
Yes. The general word in schools is backbenchers, right? Generally in schools we say backbenchers and frontbenchers. And frontbenchers are considered to be favorites of the teachers and backbenchers are considered to be lolling around and not. So, but this, your question is very, very good here, because we are talking about them, the backbenchers. I hate that word, but yes, them being able to think but not being able to express themselves, being able to want to do but not being able to doing it. Taking initiative is a word that you use. So who has the initiative? These so-called front benchers, right? Again, from my teaching practice, I can tell you that every week we used to shift the front benchers into the back benchers, bring the back benchers into the front, and then start the class. I used to do that. I don't know if it helped, but it did become noticed. It become noticed because the students understood that we who did not speak so far are now being made to speak, brought forward to speak. That is one thing that a teacher can do. An initiative from the girls who cannot speak should be motivated, should be promoted by girls who have already got that initiative. This is what I was saying. See that half and half that I was talking about, the privileged half and the unprivileged half. So this initiative should be shared by those who can speak. Make partners, bring out one of them and make her sit with you, and then you can perhaps make her gain that initiative, gain that potential to speak. Is that all?
Yes, ma'am. There is one more question.
Yeah.
Few
We
students
have
are not
time.
able to. Students, please keep yourself on mute mode. Few students are not able to express themselves to their teachers, what they want to ask or say. Would you like to say few encouraging words for them?
My dear students who cannot express themselves, especially to the teachers, please remember that this particular divide that you feel, the distance that you feel between you and the teacher, is a mythical distance. It does not exist. There is no such distance between students and teachers. And if you maybe the teacher is shy to ask you also, please think of it like this and go forward and say that, may I ask? I am telling you, we teachers feel so proud when you are asking questions. Do you understand that? Do you know it? Do you know that we also hanker after your attention? Do you know that we also want to listen to you and we would love it if you speak to us? This is how I tell my students who don't speak. So this is, I think those who are not able to express themselves and go near the teachers, try once and see how happy the teacher is to talk to you. Think of it like this, Bichari teacher, let us go and talk to her.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. So students, you are going to ask questions to your Vichari teacher from today onwards.
Ma'am, I have one question. With
Yeah.
my experience with interacting with the students, I have always observed that they have in their mind uh, unconscious biases. They themselves have developed them. And how can you show them the way, like, out of it? How can we pull them out? They have so many biases which they themselves have formed for themselves. So how can we, bring them to remove those blockages and come out of them? So if you can share some insight into this and, encourage them to come out from their own biases. I have been struggling to do this since so many years, but this is my experience that they have a lot of, biases which are not from their parents. It's from their own mental set, which they have, formed. So if you can throw some light on this, ma'am.
Let me try to analyze your question. By biases, I think we absorb some biases from the society. We absorb some biases from our familial setups. But you said that these biases are something that the girls themselves seem to be having, right? So why don't we see it as a psychological condition? Biases are born of certain notions about themselves and others, that so and so does not behave well and therefore I must not behave thus, or some bias like that. Or so and so, again, can I share an anecdote, Asia, with you about this? we should not be really talking about burqas and pardas or whatever in this day and time. But let me share that incident. Apart from that, it has a very interesting kind of a result that we had. There was this one Iranian girl in my class who was going away after that semester, and she requested me at the beginning of the class, can I videograph your class, ma'am? Can I videograph, because I want to take it back with me and remember you in this and all my friends. So I said, ask your friends. If they have no objection, I have no objection. So she generally turned and said, friends, can I do that? I want to remember you through this video. Almost everyone started nodding and smiling and giggling and all that. Suddenly we heard a voice saying, nahi, in the class. So everyone stopped and turned to that girl, and she said, nahi, we are not allowed to be photographed. Photography is not allowed in our system, right? So that is a position. You are faced with a certain kind of a problem where she is coming with a bias, which is an unquestionable bias. We cannot question it. You have your bias. We do not say your bias is right or wrong, but how do you tackle the situation in the classroom? What do you do as a teacher? What do you do as a person responsible for moving the moment on? That has to be moving on. Therefore, I said, fine, you can sit on this other side since you do not want to be photographed. And if any one of your friends, anyone in the class wants to move to that side, most welcome. The rest of them will be videographed and you don't get videographed. And believe me, she was alone in that. There was one lone girl who said, ma'am, I would like to also go there with your permission. I said, no, it has nothing to do with my permission. It is your decision that you have to make. And she also refused to go. So one girl, and later I called that girl to my room and I talked to her and I said that our biases about our personal beliefs are different from our biases or our behavior in social setups. See, this kind of a thing only can be one-to-one conversation. Or if there is a group of 3 girls, have a quiet conversation. You can never remove any bias by talking down to them or by saying that they are wrong. They have to be listened to. They have to be addressed in a proper manner. And I think a teacher has to, again, that ethical dimension, the teaching plus, don't even ask me how much I admire the teachers who teach 25 periods a week or 30 periods a week. Fine, I'm not bothered with numbers, but who do teaching plus. That plus is what makes me admire the teacher, because the teacher doesn't sit just by completing her courses. The teacher does so much more. The question that Asia asked me just now, this is what the teacher is encountering, addressing, and solving. And I'm sure Asia was generous enough to ask me that question, but I'm sure Dr. Asia has her own solution to what she has said. I'm sure she succeeded in countering those biases. We are not here to clear any bias because each one's bias has a value of its own. I'm all for biases. Have your biases, but don't have a bias which impinges upon the freedom of the other, which impinges upon the beliefs of the other. That is wrong. I can have my own feelings, I can have my own beliefs, but I should not. This is what we must try to tell the students.
Very nicely explained, ma'am. You have really explained very nicely and very accurately. I'm sure the students have understood what is the solution and what you should do in such situations. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for giving so much of inspiration and motivation to our students, telling them about forming motivational groups and
Yes.
thinking out of the box and taking initiatives, doing a lot of critical thinking positively. I'm sure all these things which they have learned today in the class, your session, they will take it. It will be a lifetime remembrance and a memory for each one of them. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts and views. I request students of Aisha-Bai B.Ed College of Education, if you have any questions, it is a wonderful opportunity. You can ask and interact with ma'am. Any questions? Dr. Jyotsna from B.Ed College of Education. I think they don't have any question. Over to Pradnya.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any question from our students?
No, ma'am. The questions are over now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, Pradnya, you can extend vote of thanks to ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for all your answers. Student, any question from your end? I think.
Hello. I would also like to thank, we are having with us Dr. Santosh Kaul, madam, principal of Gamdevi College from SNDT of SNDT Women's University College of, I think it is a commerce college. So, madam, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ashya, and thank you others also, madams, whatever I could hear.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Because work is also going on here. So thank you. It was wonderful, and I liked Madam said we shouldn't be biased with anybody. That's really the takeaway note for all of us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. Madam is principal of Marwari Sammelans, BN Ruya Girls College. Ma'am, thank you so much for removing your time from your precious schedule and joining our webinar and gracing us and increasing the level of our webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to Pradnya.
Okay, ma'am.
Dr. Jyotsna, would you like to say something? Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Some network issue. Thank you so much, Amina, ma'am. We are inspired for your speech and also helpful for our B.Ed students, how we tackle with students and how you use your teaching learning process. It's a very wonderful session. Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm from Aisha College of Education for behalf of our college. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Madam, we have another session at 4 o'clock,
yes,
which is again very interesting session. I request Professor Amina, madam, also to join us, and Dr. Santosh Kaul, madam, also to be there in our webinar for the next speaker. It's a very interesting session, and we will take over soon. I request Pradnya Choprekar, madam, to extend vote of thanks for Professor Amina Kishore.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, students, for your active involvement in this session. Now, I would like to proceed for formal vote of thanks. Today, we have an opportunity to listen to Professor Amina Kishore ma'am's thought on empowering girls through education, breaking barriers to access and success. I am sure this would definitely encourage our students in their future ahead. I am sure, ma'am, after this session, all our students will start respecting education value from all aspects. On behalf of our college, management, and our principal, Dr. Asya Rediowala ma'am, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our speaker, Professor Amina Kishore. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Ma'am, ma'am, can we start with the second?
Yes. Yeah, the second speaker will just take another 2 seconds. She has requested me. She's just joining. Okay, she's in the midst of one session, so she'll just join us in another 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. So, student, please wait. Within a minute, we are starting with the second session. So, kindly maintain discipline in the group.
I would like to request our Assistant Professor Athira Mohanan to kindly circulate the feedback form for this session in the message or chat box. Dear students, kindly fill the feedback session form.
Yes, ma'am. We will share the feedback form soon.
Dear students, the feedback form will be circulated after the second sessions.
Our second speaker is joining. Meantime, I would like to take an opportunity to inform Amina Kishori Madam that ours is a home science college. We are affiliated to SNDT Women's University, ma'am. And we have two specializations of home science. One is food science and nutrition, and the other one is human ecology, consumer services. And we are having 360 students in 120 students in the first year. That is our intake capacity. And we have already filled our full intake capacity. We are full house with 360 admission each year. And also we have got a great recognition by having a topper each year. Now from last 6 years, we are having students who are topping. There are students who have topped at university level. So that's a great achievement of the college because 1 year, if it happens, it's a fluke or by chance, or second year, third year. But it's like we have broken the hat-trick record, and now we have this year also one of our student has bagged university gold medal as well as award. So it's a great achievement for the college. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, Dr. Vaishali is joining.
Okay. Hello. Yes, Dr. Vaishali Ojha, madam.
Yes, yes. Hello, Shaheen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Can we begin the session? I'm Dr.
Yes,
Asiam Mosquitala.
first of all, I'm extremely sorry for not joining at 3:30 because I was parallelly I was in a meeting again on the commemoration of the International Women's Day.
Okay, ma'am. Can we officially begin the
Yes,
for-
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes,
So I
yes, yes.
request Ikram you to kindly welcome madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's
Uh,
proceed with the session.
Yes, sure. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone have enjoyed the first session by Professor Amina Kishore ma'am. Now, without further delay, I would like to invite Ms. Amita Gaikwad, Assistant Professor from Human Ecology and Consumer Studies Department, to introduce our second speaker. Over to you, Amita ma'am.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good afternoon to everyone in presence. It is with great pleasure that I present Dr. Vaishali Oza, our second guest speaker this afternoon. She works as an assistant professor at KES College of Arts and Commerce in Finance Department. She has completed her MBA at the top in the state and holds a PhD. Moreover, she serves as the chairperson of Women's Development and Empowerment Cell. Additionally, she has had several papers published in both national and international journals. She has also chaired a number of national and international conferences too. She she also co-wrote a textbook, Equity and Debt Market. Further, she has won the award for outstanding research paper at the 8th International Conference on Sustainability and Management Strategy. And now, without any further ado, let's hear from our magnificent speaker herself, Dr. Vaishali Oza. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a warm and kind introduction. And I really believe that all the students, I can see there is a very good number of students have joined. I can bet it will be 75 students on an average. So first of all, a very good afternoon, good evening. I must say good evening to one and all present here. Thank you so much, Asia ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to share my thoughts on such a wonderful topic and on such a great occasion, indeed. Thank you, Shaheen ma'am. Thank you, uh, other students as well. So I would begin with saying one fact. Though the topic is amazing and it is indeed of a paramount importance that we must talk about that, I want a quiet interaction with all of you students, or I must say the dear learners. I really believe that you all are can see me, or you all can hear me out, and I think you can also chat. Shaheen, could you please confirm they can chat in the chat box? Correct? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Perfect, perfect. So, quickly, what we are going to do for next 5 minutes, I want each one of you, all the students and all the learners and all my dear colleagues who have joined today, kindly post an emoji which shows your current mood. That can be anything. I'm not going to judge anyone right here. Okay, Ansari. Aksa. Okay, Aksa. It's okay. I repeat, I'm not going to judge. Okay, Julie. Perfect. Superb. You are so spontaneous in this. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. I got some people are annoyed also, but I can understand. I simply can understand why you should be annoyed. Okay, Sarah is not feeling well. Sarah, please get well soon. Okay. Jyotsna. Perfect. You people are doing great job. Okay. Aifa. Superb, superb. Only I can find only one or two emojis who are actually not feeling wet. And okay, there is one more emoji right here. I can see Sumela. Sumela, you may need to speak. You can't keep your mouth shut. So far, my session is going on. Okay, Gazia, you are sleepy. ठीक है ठीक है I'll go for mixed language. Shaheen, I think it makes sense, or I go for only English.
Ma'am, mix is fine.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, okay. So let us stop, and I tell you why it was a sort of icebreaker that is required much in an Zoom meeting. Yes, thank you, Sana. Thank you so much. So I don't know. I'm sitting at my place. You all are sitting at your own places. I don't know what is happening with you. What sort of thoughts are coming in your mind? Some students may be thinking, "मैम attendance तो मिल ही जाता है, हमें क्यों बिठाया है?" Right? International Women's Day celebrate कर लिया हमने, wish हमने आपको कर लिया. Why we are here to talk and listen about the gender stereotypes. So with this beginning, I think you all are fresh, and with this beginning I'll start and share my screen. I'll be playing small quiz also. I'll be giving some examples. I'll be sharing a video, and I want each one of you to interact with me. You can drop your question in the chat box, and trust me, मैं किसी भी बात का बुरा बिल्कुल नहीं मानूंगी. ठीक है? So please don't worry about that, and I'm not going to judge you as well. ठीक है? Okay, so I need the sharing option, ma'am. Shaheen, ma'am, could you please give me the rights to share my screen? I think we as a teacher are pro enough now. I can't share my screen right now. I tell you how to do it. You need to go to. Okay, yeah,
Okay,
yes, yeah, I got
ma'am, you are a host now. You can share
it.
your screen.
Yes, got it. Thank you so much. Just let me know. Is it full screen?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, just a second. Because in my case, it is showing me not in my. Okay, Fox. Okay, so the topic which I have been given, though it is a very intense, but it is of paramount importance nowadays. The question arises, why today the day is selected to discuss about. आज का दिन ही क्यों हम इस टॉपिक पे बात कर रहे हैं? That is International Women's Day. Right. बहुत सारे reasons हैं. Okay, so we will be disclosing, we will be exploring why this topic, why we are sitting here, why this particular thing I'm saying again and again that it is a very crucial part. Okay, so I have already connected with you by asking your mood. So yes, my connection with you is done. I wanted you to switch on your videos, but I can understand that you are not comfortable enough. So for that matter, I haven't said that. But yes, I have simply connected with you, understanding your mood right now. We'll play this quiz later on. I'll just start my session and then we'll play this quiz. I'll tell you to scan the code. Okay, so the term, if you can see that, the entire topic, gender stereotypes in education and its impact on academic performance and career choices. This is a huge topic itself. One must understand what is gender, what is stereotypes, and how this gender stereotypes, this particular topic is dragged into education also. Why this particular stereotype can impact academic performance, and the question arises कि क्या ये gender stereotype जो है वो academic performance सिर्फ females करती है या फिर males की भी affect कर सकती है. Right. So we will be talking what is gender, what is stereotypes, and how this particular gender stereotype is actually impacting we as a whole. When I talk, I really appreciate all of you to understand. When I say we is male, female, and other genders. So if you are not sensitive enough, please, you have to be sensitive about choosing the right pronouns, or you need to be very careful when you address any person, asking him or her or other genders what prefix you would like to use. Okay, so with this I'll start with that. Who believe that sex and gender are one and the same thing? You need to type in the chat box, they are the same but they are the different. If you people think, ma'am, gender and sex एक ही होता है, because in some government forms or some educational forms also, some documents, we are asked to select the sex. And in some cases, we are asked to select gender. So you need to type in the chat box. I really appreciate for your quick response. It is different. Sneha has said it is different. Yes. Who believe that yes ma'am, इनकी मर्जी हो तब ये लोग सेक्स लिख देते हैं, और जब इनको फॉर्म में जेंडर लिखना है तो वो जेंडर लिख देते हैं. Anyone of that thought? It is different. Thank you, Josna ma'am. Yes, it is different. Though we are in the meeting in online mode, so I have to be very quick enough to respond you, and both are same but multiple meaning. Okay, Sanya. ठीक है, I'll take that point also, but I'll in my further slides you will get more clarity, Sanya, whether they are both same or not. The terms are same or not. So, dear learners, the terms sex and gender are different. I know those who have typed that they are different, they might be having a clarity कि मैम अगर ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन है तो हम इसको सेक्स बोल देंगे, और अगर ऐसी कोई सिचुएशन है तो हम इसको जेंडर बोल देंगे. बट एग्जैक्टली मीनिंग क्या है? सो विद दिस we should have a clarity what is the gender and sex. The sex is something which we get biologically by birth. Yes, absolutely, Sumaila, great going. And when we talk about the gender, it is the social and cultural identity and expression. This is something a person born with. Sex is something a person born with. The anatomy, the physiology, the genetics, the hormones. These four aspects basically decide whether the person, whether the child is male, female, or other. But when we talk about gender, it is the identity and expression, or we can say the roles and norms, or we can also include the power relationship. And the point valid here is equality and equity. That makes the gender. So instead of sex stereotypes, we are talking about the gender stereotypes. We are not here gathered to celebrate the General Gender International Day. We are celebrating here International Women's Day because down the line, we believe that we are victimized of gender inequality, not the sex inequality. भगवान ने जब हमें बनाया, किसी भी सुपर पावर ने हमें जब बनाया, the you can say the genetics, the physiology, the hormones, the biological changes that we are born with, they cannot be changed. But when we get the upbringing, our identity may differ from what we are believe in. For example, I look like a female. I have a female genetics. I have female physics. I have female hormones and all the related aspects of a female. But I believe that I am not attracted to a male, though I may choose a male over female over male, and I may choose male over female. That is my expression. That is my identity. So, gender is not a basic creating a difference between two entity. It is the expression. It is the cultural and social identity that a person choose himself, herself. हमने जो हमारे लिए चूज किया है, औरत होते हुए भी, आदमी होते हुए भी, या ट्रांसजेंडर होते हुए भी, या कोई भी LGBTQI+ कम्युनिटी का कोई भी हिस्सा होते हुए भी, हम सोशली कैसे इंक्लाइंड हैं, हम किनको पसंद करते हैं, हम कैसे कपड़े पहनना पसंद करते हैं. When we born, nobody has said that we should not wear jeans. We should wear jeans. We should wear sari. We should use fashion accessories. We should use makeup. No one had said that. But when we got the upbringing, हो सकता है हमारे लिए इसकी inclination हो. So that is making our gender. It is not about मेल होगा. मेल इज अगर हम सेक्स बोलते हैं और हम बोलते हैं कि वी आर मेल और फीमेल और अदर सेक्स काउंटरपार्ट्स, इट मीन्स व्हाट वी आर सेइंग दैट हमारे हार्मोन्स, हमारे जेनेटिक्स, हमारा कल्चर, हमारा हमारा जो ढांचा बनाया है, दैट इज ऑफ अ मेल और फीमेल. बट हम जब जैसे जैसे अपब्रिंगिंग लेते हैं, हो सकता है हमारी चॉइसेस बदले. लड़का हूं बट मुझे हो सकता है कलर जो है पिंक पसंद हो. सो इट इज माई चॉइस, right? It is my social inclination. So I hope you are getting the difference between the gender and sex. If anyone has any sort of doubt or a point to put on that, ma'am नहीं मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ऐसा भी हो सकता है, you all are free to share your views on chat box. I promise कोई टीचर तुम्हें बिल्कुल कुछ भी नहीं बोलेगी, ठीक है? Trust me. ओके, सो जब हम डिफरेंसेस की बात करते हैं, सो जेंडर इज कल्चरली डिफाइंड. द रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, हम बार बार जब भी आंख बंद करके नर्स का नाम सुनते हैं, सो वी इमेजिन अ फीमेल. दैट इज द culturally defined meaning of a female. I repeat, when we close our eyes and we think we have given a name called as nurse, हमारा दिमाग में एक ही फेस आता है, that is that to a female, and that to a female sister. Why we cannot assume a male to be nurse, right? So it is a culturally defined definition of male and female. When we talk about attributes, that is fragile and emotional, we as the part of so respectable society, अनइंटेंशनली और इंटेंशनली हम कई बार ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स बोलते हैं, औरतें थोड़ी, या औरतें या फीमेल आर इमोशनल, मोर इमोशनल. तो क्या ऐसा इसका मतलब ये है जो आदमी या जो बॉयज हैं या जो ट्रांसजेंडर्स हैं, वो अगर रोते हैं या वो इमोशनल है तो क्या वो औरत बन गई? नो, दैट इज देयर जेंडर स्पेसिफिक थिंग. यू कैन नॉट से दैट अगर रोता है या इमोशनल है तो आदमी हुआ, और अगर नहीं रोती है, स्ट्रॉन्ग है, तो वो तो मेल हुआ, right? These are culturally defined, socially defined definitions. Entitlement, that is inferior healthcare to men financial dependence. हम कई बार बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं जिसके लिए ना चाहते हुए भी बराबरी का दर्जा देने की बजाय we try to give more power to one sex, one gender, one part of the society, instead of giving the equal importance to both of them. There comes the role of gender equality, right? So these are some of the examples of why sex and gender are different. So these are some of the examples. I got this image from internet, which I found beautiful, which shows the real meaning of the differences between gender and sex, right? So these are some of the aspects that I would like to start it with to discuss more about my own topic, that is gender stereotype in education. सो लेट अस एनालाइज दिस. जो हमने अभी तक सीखा है, थोड़ा सा इसको क्विकली एनालाइज करते हैं. करना क्या है, मैं स्टेटमेंट्स पढ़ूंगी और आपको उसमें लिखना है वेदर इट इज सेक्स ओरिएंटेड स्टेटमेंट और जेंडर. ठीक है. So starting with first, women earn less money than men do. Whether this statement is about gender or sex, women earn less money than men do. You have to wake yourself up for the session. Sex oriented. Sneha, okay. Anyone else would like to say something? Teachers and the part of my own academic fraternity can also participate. Sheikh Gausia. Gausia, correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. सो दो आंसर्स आए हैं. एक ने बोला है कि मैम ये तो सेक्स ओरिएंटेड है, एक ने बोला है जेंडर है. सो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, डियर पार्टिसिपेंट, डियर अटेंडेes, women earn less money than men do. एक बात बताइए, ये कैसे डिसाइड कर सकते हैं, ये कैसे बोला जा सकता है कि ये सेक्स ओरिएंटेड है? क्या हमारे जो फिजिकल ढांचा बनाया हुआ है, 2 हाथ है, 2 पांव है, जेनेटिक ये हमारे प्राइवेट पार्ट्स हैं, आईज है, हमारे सेंसेस हैं, क्या इनको सबको देखते हुए, क्या इनको एनालाइज करते हुए, क्या तुम ये बोल सकते हो आदमी ज्यादा पैसा कमाते हैं, औरतें कम पैसा कमाते हैं? बिल्कुल नहीं. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट इज जेंडर स्पेसिफिक सेंटेंस. ओके, it is showing the gender role. Second is very good, Sumela. Absolutely. Second is men can't cook. बताइए क्या है ये, जेंडर है या सेक्स है? The statement is about whether showing a gender or whether it is showing the sex of the particular sentence. Men can't cook. Absolutely right, Sneha. Now you got the point. Men can't cook. किसने बोला ये कि men can't cook? It is the cultural and socially inclined. There are great chefs who cook amazing food, right? So sex ने ये define नहीं किया है, right? Women menstruate, men don't. ये क्या है बताइए? Women menstruate, men don't. Superb Sneha, superb Sumela. I'm very much impressed. अगर मैं offline lecture ले रही होती, I would have given you a huge round of applause for so actively participating. Sex oriented, Sheikh Sakina. Very nice, superb. You people are doing great job. Women are natural child care provider. But बताइए, women are natural child care provider. What the statement shows? The sex or women? Mm, good try. Good try. So here, the right answer is from Said Nida. Absolutely, you are right. Women are natural child provider. इसका मतलब हम जब पैदा हुए थे तो हमें क्या स्पेशल पावर मिली है जिससे हम बच्चों का केयर बहुत अच्छा से कर सकते हैं? No. I have been brought up by my dad. Okay. So my dad has given me proper childcare because my mom was working and she has a fixed working hours. Right? So women are natural child care provider. It is the gendered definition. Okay, it is not about the sex of the individual. A man cannot get pregnant. Tell me. Absolutely, Sneha. Sneha. But, Palak, absolutely. You people are now I can feel the connection between you and me, that you are now very much active. Very good, very good. This particular answer, सबने सही answer दिया है. A man cannot get pregnant. That you can say that this is the privilege, the fortune we women as enjoy. Right? Very good. Okay. Just a moment, huh, ma'am? I got one request from Bijan. Just a second. Let me make her. Bija ma'am, could you please switch on your video? Okay, I got you. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I think when I'll make you co-host, ma'am, Bija ma'am. I cannot share my screen. You need to make me co-host again. Actually, meanwhile, जब मैं session ले रही थी, I was admitting the students also. I can understand you. मैं भी हम लोग भी sessions arrange करते हैं, ma'am. So please don't worry. I'm managing at my end as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
You're hosting.
Yes, yes. I'll do one thing. I'll remove the security so they can easily join back. I hope it makes sense. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me share. Okay. So, and the girls drop out of school more than boys do. And the last one, the man is the breadwinner. Okay. Gender. Right. Right. Now you are so intelligent people. Manal, Palak, Gausia. Superb. Fantastic. The man is the breadwinner. ये दोनों ही स्टेटमेंट जेंडर शो करता है भाई. किसी ने हमें ऐसा बना के भेजा ही नहीं है. किसी ने नहीं बोला कि आदमी कमाएगा औरत नहीं कमाएगी. सबको कमाना पड़ रहा है. It is so expensive these days. You can't afford to say your better half or your parent, one parent, पापा आप मत काम करिए मम्मी काम कर लेगी या मम्मी आप मत करिए पापा कर लेंगे. This is not the right approach nowadays. So this particular slide helped me to know how much the initial two slides were successful enough. Okay. Now let us explore some more aspects of this particular thing. Gender challenge. क्या लगता है जो ये gender challenge है वो दोनों का equal है? आदमी और औरतों को same problems face होती है क्या? This image I got, this particular image was trolled on social media like anything. Literally, जब ये सोशल मीडिया पे आया था ऑलमोस्ट 1 और 2 वीक्स के लिए लोगों के व्हाट्सएप के स्टेटस पे था, इंस्टाग्राम की रील्स में था, बहुत सारी चीजों पे लोगों ने अपडेट किया था बिकॉज दिस इमेज स्पीक्स thousands of emotion. Literally, this particular image shows thousands of emotion and being, I really believe you people can correlate with the fact. Yes, indeed it does. Yes. Uh, yes, correct. सो ये इमेज बहुत सारी चीजें जो है सबने बोला कि नहीं मैम प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत सारी हैं और लिटरली बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स के साथ में हम लोगों को आगे बढ़ना पड़ रहा है और इसी वजह से हम ज्यादा चिल्लाते हैं जेंडर इक्वालिटी, जेंडर इक्विटी, जेंडर इक्वालिटी, जेंडर इक्विटी. अरे भाई हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स और अदर जेंडर्स की प्रॉब्लम सेम नहीं है. आवर सोशल रोल, our cultural role as women are quite different than the social and cultural expectations.
आलिया तो
Right?
10वीं में चले जाएगी.
Okay. I think I got some sort of disturbances. Okay. Thank you, Ifra. Thank you for your kind consent for this. Right? हम जब ये बोलते हैं कि जेंडर इक्वालिटी की बात करी जा रही है तो भाई तुम औरतें बार बार चिल्लाती क्यों हो कि जेंडर इक्वालिटी करो? तुम्हें पढ़ाई बराबर से हम करने देते हैं. यू आर अलाउड टू गो इन द नाइट. हु सेड टू यूज द वर्ड अलाउड? आर यू आस्किंग फॉर द परमिशन? Yes, Said Nida. Very well said. Females get the tag from the birth of taking care of household and people. This is a gender definition. This is socially definition tagged on us that हम लोगों को बहुत care रखना पड़ता है हर चीज का. Though we have some caring emotions ज्यादा होते हैं, but it is okay. Males can also have that. Back to this image. This image actually makes you realize what is the importance of today as discussion of this topic. We need to aware about our own challenges. याद रखिए हमारे पास challenges की लिमिट कुछ ज्यादा है. हाँ, उन challenges को अपॉर्चुनिटी कैसा बनाना है वो हम पे डिपेंड करता है. But still these challenges are quite huge in numbers. ठीक है, जब हम सुबह उठते हैं तो हमसे हर कोई फैमिली मेंबर कुछ उम्मीदें पाल के बैठा है, लेकिन बहुत कम ऐसा देखा गया है कि हमारे मेल काउंटर पार्ट से ये सारी उम्मीदें पाली गई हो, ये सारी उम्मीदें ये चीजें पूछी गई हो, कितने बजे आएंगे, राइट, खाना बनाया क्या, खाना खिला दिया क्या बच्चों को, स्कूल्स का फीस हो गया क्या, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बिल भर दिया क्या, and vice versa, huh, as a vice versa, right? So this is the reason we all are gathered here, and specifically we are discussing this topic when we talk about gender equality and equity. क्या लगता है ये दोनों इमेज में क्या डिफरेंस हो सकता है? चाहे इसमें बहुत सारी बुलेट्स पॉइंट लिखे हैं, बट फिर भी आई वांट any one of you who wish to unmute yourself, or if you want to chat, type in the chat box. क्या लगता है क्या डिफरेंस है इक्वालिटी और इक्विटी का? Ilsa is actually so sleepy that she is laying down, and don't worry, don't take me wrong, but it's okay, I can understand. अभी 4:30 का टाइम है, एक आपने उनको जबरदस्ती बिठा दिया है, तो हम थोड़ा तो ऐसे सब करेंगे ना. इट्स ओके. इक्वालिटी एंड इक्विटी, ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, इक्वालिटी इज समथिंग गिविंग द इक्वल प्लेटफॉर्म. भाई तुम औरत हो या आदमी हो या अदर जेंडर हो, सबके लिए रूल समान है. अच्छा, वेरी गुड मनाल. नाउ लिसन टू मी वेरी केयरफुली, मे बी इट विल हेल्प यू टू क्लियर मोर, गिव यू मोर क्लियर इमेज. In the thing not keeping it with them, equity considered. Very nice, Pradanya ma'am, very well pointed, very well said. अगर हम किसी के डिफरेंसेस को देखते हुए तब उनको हम इक्वालिटी, इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी देते हैं, इट इज इक्विटी. इस इमेज में अगर देखा जाए तो देखिए, इक्वालिटी के अंदर हमने तीनों को समानता दी है, लेकिन तुमने ये नहीं देखा जो तीसरा जिसको तुम इक्वल प्लेटफॉर्म दे रहे हो वो एक बच्चा है. तो बच्चे का डिफरेंस ये है कि उसकी हाइट कम होगी उस व्यू को देखने के लिए. समझ आ रही है? सो इन इक्विटी यू आर एक्चुअली रिस्पेक्टिंग द डिफरेंसेस, right? You are respecting the differences of the individual and giving them right opportunity. And in case of equality, you just नजरअंदाज, आप उनकी क्या डिफरेंसेस है उनको नजरअंदाज करते हुए उनको इक्वल प्लेटफॉर्म दे देते हो. एक सिंपल सी बात है, अगर डिसेबल बच्चा है और अगर आप ये बोलते हो नहीं हमारे सारे बच्चों के लिए इक्वल समान चीजें है, इसका मतलब तो आप इक्वालिटी कर रहे हो. लेकिन अगर आपने ऐसी कुछ समानताएं बराबर करने के लिए उसको कुछ ज्यादा चीजें और राइट्स दिए हैं जो कि डिसेबल स्टूडेंट है, इट मींस यू आर प्रमोटिंग द इक्विटी. सो ऑलवेज बी वेरी क्लियर अबाउट द टर्म इक्वालिटी एंड इक्विटी. ओके, don't worry, won't take much time. I know you people are so busy. Okay, कहाँ कहाँ पे तुमने जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन शो देखा है या तुमने फील किया है? फैमिली में होता है, एब्सोल्युटली. एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन में भी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होता है. एक्चुअली होता क्या है कि हमें पता नहीं है पर हम ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स दे देते हैं, ठीक है, वर्क प्लेस में, रिलीजियस इंस्टीट्यूशंस में, पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, मूवी, एंटरटेनमेंट, लॉज, पेजेस. यस, यस, वेल सेड मनाल. करियर, स्पोर्ट्स, और शायद इसी वजह से जब हम जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की बात कर रहे हैं तो आज हम एजुकेशन एंड करियर दोनों में बात कर रहे हैं. एब्सोल्युटली इफ्रा, आफ्टर मैरिज एज वेल, because it is a social setup. Okay, then what is gender stereotypes? These are some of the images of late 90s. हम जैसे जो 1991 born है, I'm 1991 born, so हमारे जो जनरेशन के बच्चे हैं उन लोगों ने ये इमेज एडवर्टाइजमेंट में जरूर देखी होगी. and these images are actually propagating the gender stereotypes. आपने किसी भी टॉय शॉप में एक बच्ची का फोटो यूज किया किचन सेट को प्रमोट करने के लिए, इट मीन्स यू आर प्रमोटिंग द जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप्स. ओके, जब इंजीनियर की जॉब की बात आई तो आपने एक इंजीनियर के एक बिल्डिंग बनाई, बिल्डिंग के सामने येलो टोपी पहन के एक इंजीनियर खड़ा है. व्हाई देयर इज नॉट अ फीमेल? कभी सोचा है? दिस इज हाउ इफेक्टिंग योर करियर चॉइसेस. तुम्हारे दिमाग में वो कभी करियर चॉइसेस आएगी ही नहीं, बिकॉज तुमने हमेशा से बिल्डिंग के सामने एक इंजीनियर को खड़ा देखा है और इंजीनियर ने येलो टोपी पहन रखी है और वो प्रोजेक्ट रेडी कर रहा है या ब्लूप्रिंट रेडी कर रहा है. एक टीचर को हमेशा सोचा है कि एक फीमेल टीचर होती है, तो नाउ द सिचुएशन इज चेंजिंग. आपने एक किचन आपने एक पर्टिकुलर एक ये वॉलमार्ट का एड है, बहुत फेमस एड था. उसके अलावा एक और एड है विम का, जिसमें आपने एक फीमेल इंडिविजुअल को रखा है और आपने बहुत सारे हाथ बना दिए और उसको बोला भाई मल्टीटास्कर है. क्यों मल्टीटास्कर है? सोचा है कभी? Absolutely, Amina. Well, I'm so impressed with Amina Kishore. मम्मी की रोटी गोल गोल, पापा के रुपये गोल गोल. Absolutely amazing. This is a jingle. इस jingle this jingle itself is a gender stereotype, right? Everest. एवरेस्ट का भी एक ऐसा ही जिंगल बना था. नाउ इट इज बैंड. नाउ देयर आर एन नंबर ऑफ एड्स दैट यू कैन सी ऑन यूट्यूब प्लेटफॉर्म जो कि बैन हो चुके हैं बिकॉज दे आर प्रोपोगेटिंग जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप. दे आर स्प्रेडिंग दिस जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप प्रॉब्लम्स. हम क्यों मल्टीटास्क करें? व्हाई वी हैव बीन शोन इन द किचन सर्विंग द फूड? व्हाई वी आर नॉट सिटिंग द वे देयर आर सम एड शोज, हम लोग एक आराम कुर्सी पे बैठे हैं, चाय है, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ रहे हैं. ऐसा कभी दिखा है? नहीं. सो दीज आर द स्टीरियोटाइप्स. I'll share the PPT अगर किसी को भी चाहिए because I have given a specific time slot, so I'll stick to my topic. So these are I have also added this thing video. I wanted to quickly play this. In kitchen related products they show women. हाँ जी मैम, बिल्कुल प्रदन्या, I agree with this. If you can recollect the cooker ad, कुकर प्रेस्टीज, जो प्रेस्टीज से करे प्यार वो नहीं, जो बीवी से करे प्यार वो प्रेस्टीज से कैसे करे इनकार. इट मीन्स जो कुकर है वो बीवी यूज करती है, अगर उसको खुश रखना है तो कुकर दे दो. So this is how we are spreading and I honestly believe that आप सबको एक चीज बोलना चाहूंगी, कई बार हम इंटेंशनली नहीं अनइंटेंशनली ऐसे सोशल और जनरल कमेंट पास कर देते हैं जो हमें मीन नहीं करते हैं पर हमने गलती से बोल दिए हैं. I have a son who is 9 year old and I have a daughter, she is 4 year old. Okay. फॉर्चुनेटली मेरे सन के ही इज इन 3rd grade और उसके क्लास में एक अभी ये सोशल स्टडीज में एक चैप्टर आया है जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप्स. सो अब मैं मेरे मुंह से गलती से भी कुछ भी अगर गलती से निकल गया या मैंने कभी कोई कॉल है एंड कॉल पे मैंने बोल दिया मेरे को तो ये आवाज लड़कों जैसी लगी, ऐसे मैंने एक बार बोल दिया था, तो माय सन टोल्ड मी दैट मैम मम्मा इट इज जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप. हाउ कैन बट जस्ट बाय लिसनिंग द वॉइस हाउ कैन यू से दैट द पर्सन इज अ मेल और फीमेल, राइट? सो दीज आर समथिंग विच वी शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ. हम हमारी रूटीन लैंग्वेज की भाषा को बहुत बहुत सोच समझ के हमें यूज करना चाहिए बिकॉज हम चाहें या ना चाहें we are part of the society, we are culturally oriented and we need to share this cultural orientation, social orientation in a general formation जहाँ पे हर इंसान को फ्रीडम हो, उसको जैसे रहना है, जैसे पहनना है, जैसे बोलना है, जैसे दिखना है, उसका हक उनके पास रहे. This was an ad. I want you to go.
कहीं नहीं पापा.
पानी पिला दो.
जी. वो पापा वो ना कुछ फ्रेंड्स बुला रहे थे इस समय, तो मैं जाऊं?
तो पापा सनी का ताश पार्टी है, वहीं जा रहा हूँ, रात को वहीं रुकूंगा, ठीक है? मेरे जूते दिया किसी ने?
ये कोई टाइम है बाहर जाने का? हाँ? इतनी रात को? पता ही नहीं बाहर जाके रात को क्या करते हैं।
क्या हुआ?
इनसे ही पूछ लो क्या हुआ।
क्या हुआ?
घर का जवान बेटा कहीं बाहर जाके किसी लड़की को छेड़ दिया तो, कहीं कुछ कराया तो कौन देगा तुझे लड़की है? बता। जाते जाते इसको छोड़ देना।
Thank you so much for patience listening. It is not about मैम आपने यही एड क्यों शेयर किया? देखो, कोई भी चीज कब माइंड को ट्रिगर करती है जब आपने उसके विजुअल इम्प्लीकेशंस देखे हैं, ठीक है, साथ में उसको कनेक्ट किया है। दिस एड वाज समथिंग विच वाज actually made me think certain aspects the way I used to think, right? ज्यादातर हमने जो एड्स देखे हैं उसमें, या फिर जो हमने विजुअलाइजेशन मूवीज में देखा है, यस यस सही था, वेरी वेल सेड। सो वो लिटरली व्हाट वी एज अ, और आज की डेट में तो इतनी सारी मूवीज बन चुकी हैं जो जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप ब्रेक करती हैं। लिटरली दे आर ब्रेकिंग द जेंडर स्टीरियोटाइप्स, चाहे वो फिर पैडमैन हो, चाहे फिर वो मैरी कॉम हो, ठीक है, और चाहे फिर इट कैन बी एनी मूवी दैट इट इज सिंपली जो मिशन रॉकेट मिशन के ऊपर जो था, आई जस्ट फॉरगॉट द साइंटिस्ट नेम। हम जब साइंटिस्ट का भी इमेजिनेशन किया करते हैं, ये सब एजुकेशनल चीजें हैं जिसको कि हमने इमेजिन कर लिया है कि भाई आदमी है तो ये जॉब्स करता होगा, औरत है तो ये जॉब्स करती होगी, ये है तो इस तरह की डिग्रीज वो लिया करती हैं, राइट? सो दिस इज समथिंग विच वी आर unintentionally doing. We are not being, as a person we are not encouraging that, but we are doing unintentionally. So we have to be more aware, we have to be more watchful on our word, we have to more watchful on our conduct. अपनी क्लास में कोई भी ऐसी चीज जो तुम्हें लगता है कि नहीं, सही नहीं है, you should speak out. You can simply say that I really, hi, for example, I'm just talking to Shaheen. Shaheen ने मुझे ऐसी कोई चीज बोली, वैशाली हम लोग क्लास में हैं, yes yes, if I agree with Ifra, Wimbar ka advertisement is also which is slowly changing the society, right? Wimbar ka share the load excel का जो ad है, that is also. So शाहीन ने मुझे बोला कि यार तू ना लड़कों जैसी दिखती है, you should wear jeans t-shirt more, है ना? So this is a culture, this is a gendered remark. I can simply say to Shaheen, hi Shaheen, I really appreciate if you can just cannot use my gender identity in our conversation. It's just a request. ये तुम्हारी ये बोलने से तुम्हारी दोस्ती खत्म नहीं हो जाएगी, और अगर हो गई है तो ऐसी कोई दोस्ती थी ही नहीं, right? So this was the something which I wanted to show. These are some of the breaking the gender stereotypes, how these are the images we can reflect upon us. These are the breaking the gender stereotypes, right? ये and yes, yes, Jyotsna ma'am, I agree. Jyotsna ma'am has said that बहुत सारी ऐसी सीरीज हैं जो कि जेंडर इक्वालिटी पोर्ट्रे कर रही हैं और बहुत ब्यूटीफुली पोर्ट्रे हो रहा है। देखिए, एक चीज तो है, जिस भी इंसान को जो भी सिचुएशन जैसे लेना होगा वो लेगा, ठीक है। आई फॉर एग्जाम्पल आज मैंने एक पर्पल कलर डाला है। जनरली जो भी सेशंस होते हैं अगर वो ऑनलाइन है तो आई यूज कॉर्पोरेट अटायर। I purposely chosen the purple shade and that too wearing a sari. It should not look like I wanted you to interact more on a topic which shows my values. My values is my values to matter fact on sessions are concerned is connecting with the student with my appearance, with my color choices, how I am connecting with the audience. Right? So Samanko, I agree absolutely. We should watch some of the series together also, and we should talk more about एक राउंड टेबल डिस्कशन होना चाहिए जब भी आप इस तरीके की बात करें। ये एक इमेज है जो बहुत बड़ा एजुकेशन और करियर जो प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं उसमें देखा गया है। इंडिया नीड्स 4.3 मिलियन मोर नर्सेज बाय 2024 एज पर WHO नॉर्म्स। और अगर आपको 2024 तक इतने सारे नर्सेज और चाहिए तो क्या आप बोल सकते हो कि औरतें ही नर्सें बन सकती हैं? नहीं। So here the role of gender, breaking the gender stereotypes so the educational and career option can be wider enough. They can be more broad enough, right? You can see here. आप यहाँ पे भी एक जॉब देख रहे हो। क्या जॉब देख रहे हैं? ये एक ट्रांसजेंडर है जो कि कोची मेट्रो में करंटली शी इज एसोसिएटेड विद देम एज दी क्लर्क। ये जो एडमिन पार्ट होता है उसमें ये काम करते हैं। ठीक है। और ऐसे बहुत सारे कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेज हैं जो ट्रांसजेंडर को हायर कर रहे हैं। ठीक है। दे आर एक्चुअली अरेंजिंग दी जॉब फेयर, स्पेसिफिकली ट्रांसजेंडर जॉब फेयर्स। राइट। ये जो ट्रांसजेंडर टॉपिक है ना डियर पार्टिसिपेंट्स, ये एक सेपरेट ऑल टुगेदर एक डिफरेंट जंचर है। इसको कभी भी हम इसमें क्लब नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज हम हमारे चैलेंजेस को ट्रांसजेंडर कम्युनिटी के चैलेंजेस से कभी नहीं बराबर कर सकते। अगर तुमने वो इमेज देखी है तो उसमें आप आदमी और औरत को देख रहे हो। अगर मैं उसमें आदमी, औरत और अदर जेंडर डाल दूं ना तो तुम्हें औरतों से भी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम वो सारे अदर जेंडर्स का लगेगा। राइट। सो जहां पे चैलेंजेस डिफरेंट है वहां पे आप कॉमन सोल्यूशन कभी नहीं दे सकते किसी भी एजुकेशन। Yes, Julie. You have pointed and clearly mentioned the state कि केरला में ऐसा हो रहा है कि ट्रांसजेंडर को अपॉर्चुनिटी ज्यादा मिल रही हैं। मैं एक बात बताना चाहूंगी, एक चीज बता, मेरा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस है, डोंट टेक इट दिस वे जूली। I am also associated with transgender community. One of my very good friend of mine, she herself is a transgender. Basically, male का body है, but she identifies herself as a woman. ठीक है। तो मैं उसका जब मैंने उससे एक बार डिस्कशन किया था तो शी टोल्ड मी कि वैशाली में जॉब्स मिल जाती हैं लेकिन वहाँ के जो चैलेंजेस होता है ना वो बहुत अलग होते हैं। जूली, वहाँ के वॉशरूम्स जेंडर न्यूट्रल नहीं है। ठीक है। तो उनको वॉशरूम्स में प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं। कुछ कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस जेंडर न्यूट्रल वॉशरूम्स भी लाते हैं। दूसरी प्रॉब्लम उनको फेस होती है, जॉब मिल जाती है, अगेन दिक्कत आती है कि उनको रहने के लिए रेंट अपार्टमेंट्स नहीं मिलते बिकॉज सोसाइटी उनको रहने के लिए अलाउड नहीं करती है, बोलती है यहाँ पे कपल्स अलाउड है या फिर पीजीज है, तो उनको रहने की दिक्कत आती है। तीसरा चीज बताती हूँ जूली, तुमने ये पॉइंट बता दिया तो मुझे वो मेरा मेरा ड्यूटी बनता है तुम्हें ये क्लैरिटी भी देने का। अपॉर्चुनिटी है बट उसके एसोसिएटेड ये है अपॉर्चुनिटी और ये है प्रॉब्लम्स। सो वो अपॉर्चुनिटी का जो दायरा है वो प्रॉब्लम से थोड़ा मतलब वो मैच नहीं कर रहा है, इतनी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स है क्योंकि वो काफी ट्रांसजेंडर अपने घर से भागे हुए हैं। तो उनको प्रॉब्लम्स ये भी आ रही हैं कि उनके पास डॉक्यूमेंटेशन नहीं है। तो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन नहीं है तो वो अपने डिग्री परस्यू नहीं कर सकते। गॉट इट। सो दे वांट टू परस्यू एजुकेशन लेकिन वहां पे भी वो स्टक हो गए। तो क्या उनके लिए एजुकेशन अपॉर्चुनिटी बराबर हुई? हाँ, कुछ जगह पर हुई पर कुछ जगह पर नहीं हुई। क्या उनके लिए करियर अपॉर्चुनिटी एक जैसी हुई? हाँ हुई, पर कुछ जगह के लिए हुई और कुछ जगह के लिए बिल्कुल स्टार्ट भी नहीं हुआ। एक या दो स्टेट, एक या दो कंट्री कैन नॉट रिप्रेजेंट द एंटायर इंडिया। right? So absolutely, the state governments of many states of India are taking so many efforts to give them more platform, but they have to think about the challenges they are facing, right? है और तुम्हें सबको इस स्लाइड को बहुत अच्छे नजर से और बहुत ध्यान से देखना है, बहुत ध्यान से देखना है। तुम एज अ स्टूडेंट, मी एज अ इंडिविजुअल, यू एज एन इंडिविजुअल, व्हाट यू कैन डू, यू कैन बी अवेयर। तुम दूसरों को भी अवेयर करो, मेक अदर्स, लेकिन झगड़े नहीं करने हैं। घर में कोई चीज ऐसे माता ने या पिताजी ने या हमारे डैड या मॉम ने कुछ बोला या भाई ने, झगड़े मत करो। ट्राई टू लर्न द स्टाइल, द स्किल of conveying your point in the most polite way. I really appreciate if you don't say that word. I really appreciate. Show the gesture. Thank you. Right? And you have to make other aware. Take the responsibility. बार बार लोगों पे मत थोपो, मुझे तो कभी प्लेट नहीं मिला इसलिए मैं कभी ये कर नहीं पाया या कर नहीं पाई। टेक द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड यू कैन चेंज द मेनी थिंग। घर से शुरुआत करो, घर बदल गया तो बहुत चीजें बदल जाएगी, राइट? ब्रेक द स्टीरियोटाइप्स। ये ब्रेक द स्टीरियोटाइप करने के बहुत सारे तरीके हैं। आपके कॉन्वर्जेशन में कभी भी वो चीज नहीं आनी चाहिए, आपके मूवी चॉइसेस में ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। एक्शन मूवीज फीमेल्स को पसंद हो सकती है, करेक्ट? सो डोंट अलाइन इट। Dr. Santosh, very true. Everyone has to take the response. Absolutely, Dr. Santosh. Absolutely. We cannot say blindly saying कि ये तो हमेशा से चलते आ रहा है, हम क्या कर सकते हैं, फलाना this thing. No, we are the responsible. आज नहीं बदले तो हमारी आने वाली जनरेशन सेम ये चीजें बोल रही होगी जो आज हम बोल रहे हैं, right? And always remember, be inclusive and be empathetic. सिंपति नहीं करनी है। कोई आपके सामने रो रहा है तो आप उसको जाके मैं तेरा दर्द समझ सकता हूं, चुप हो जा, ऐसे नहीं होता है, राइट? यू हैव टू पुट योर सेल्फ इन द सिचुएशन, देन गिव द सोल्यूशन। सिंपति इज वॉट, आप उसको सांत्वना देते हो। एम्पैथी इज वॉट, आप उसको आप अपने आप को उसकी जगह जगह पे रख के देखते हो, तब वो पेन समझ में आता है। एंड बी इंक्लूसिव। इंक्लूसिव का मतलब है अपने रेगुलर कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन में ट्राई टू इंक्लूड ऑल द जेंडर्स। कभी भी मेल फीमेल लड़का लड़की जैसी चीजें मत बोलिए। ट्राई टू बी जेंडर न्यूट्रल। देखो एक चीज मैं एक्सेप्ट करती हूँ, आई टॉक अबाउट men, women and other. I talk about male, female and other genders, but I am not sure more about other LGBT, मैं समझती हूँ, that is transgender, LGBTQ plus I community, because right now I'm exploring these areas. लेकिन इसमें आपको यहाँ पे इतना बगावती रूप लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है कि ये सारी चीजें एग्जिस्ट करती नहीं है। I do believe that they exist. I do have sympathy with them, but it will take time to empathize with them. इट इज ओके टू एक्सेप्ट कि मुझे अभी टाइम लगेगा वो चीज के लिए। ट्रांसजेंडर, क्योंकि मैं उनके साथ काम करती हूँ तो मेरे लिए एम्पैथी आना वाजिब है। मुझे उनको इंक्लूड करना आता है, समझ आता है। मेरे स्पीच में, मेरे कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन में, मेरे मेरे हमारे जो पैनल डिस्कशन होंगे उसमें आई ऑलवेज इनवाइट वन ट्रांसजेंडर, बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट देम टू बी ऑन द पैनल, राइट? क्योंकि उनके पर्सपेक्टिव्स बिल्कुल अलग है। बट अदर जब भी चीजें आती है, कम्युनिटी आती है, वो मुझे थोड़ी चीजें समझनी बाकी है, एंड होपफुली आई विल अंडरस्टैंड। और जिस दिन समझ जाए उस दिन आप ओपन फोरम पे बोलिए। जब तक नहीं समझ में आता है, डोंट स्पीक। एंड द लास्ट वन इज पार्टिसिपेट इन डायलॉग। you have to participate and you have to share your thought in the most skillful way, right? And with this, I just play one quiz. Yes, I would end with saying the best leaders are those who lead with their hearts, not with their gender. Right? So let us play a small quiz. I can have some Q&A. I wanted to discuss. I can have more 10-15 minutes, but I don't want to drag the session because I can understand 40-45 minutes is the most productive minutes in online learning. Okay. So if I want this session to be a learning aspect, I have to be stick to the timeline given. Okay, so let me share the quiz. Okay, so I request each one of you to kindly scan the code and appear for the quiz. Can I stop share the screen? Any one of you who can unmute? Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, the quiz has not been but getting connected.
Okay. I think I should share the link. Is it okay? जिसका स्कैन हो गया है वो स्कैन करके प्रोसीड कर सकते हैं एंड आई एम आल्सो शेयरिंग दिस द क्विज लिंक जस्ट गिव मी अ मोमेंट
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I think Sneha has done my job. Yes, Sneha. मैं फिर भी भेज के रखती हूँ. Thank you, Sneha.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yasira, sorry. So let me see. You people are doing a fantastic job. See, I'm sharing my screen again, and I request all of you, so don't take it कि मैम इसका मेरा marks कम आया, इसका marks ज़्यादा आया, है ना? I really appreciate that because some students have done a fantastic job. Yasira, great. Athira, Palak, every one of you who have attempted the quiz is the winner for me. Correct? Again, right and wrong, better or best, good or excellent are part and parcel of life, right? It is this particular quiz to make you aware that yes, we were discussing certain topics. We were talking about these topics, and you should be aware of it. So I request Bija ma'am or Asia ma'am to give. I really request to please give a dairy milk or a chocolate, a sweet gesture to Yasira. Because I have not come to you for the offline lecture. Otherwise, I would have got that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Thank you, ma'am.
Request required. Wonderful session you have taken. such a the topic was a little serious in nature, but you could relate it very well to the students. And I'm sure now in the question and answer round, we'll have a lot of questions from their end, which will be, if you can answer them, it will be really great. So this
Yes.
particular session was an eye-opener for them. And
I
let
will
me
be
tell
happy
you,
to.
yeah, let me tell you, you can see the participants. There are others also who are on YouTube. So the students are there. A big number of students have joined us, around 200 of them.
Oh God,
100.
amazing, amazing, amazing.
So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Open for the question and answer, and I'll be happy to address the question and answer, literally.
I request Ifra to kindly proceed with question and answer round.
Yes, ma'am. Amita ma'am, over to you.
Yes, students, please ask your questions if any. You can type in the chat box.
अगर ऐसा भी लग रहा है, देखो, हो सकता है कई बार हमें ऐसा लगता है कि इज इट राइट प्लेटफॉर्म टू आस्क और नॉट. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, नहीं पूछने से बहुत नुकसान हो सकता है, लेकिन पूछने से ज्यादा क्या ही होगा. एक या दो तुम्हें ये सोच लेंगे क्या स्टूपिड क्वेश्चन था, बट मार्क माय वर्ड्स, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू जज यू. आई एम सेइंग दिस स्टेटमेंट फ्रॉम लास्ट 45 मिनट्स कि आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू जज यू एट ऑल. Correct.
Okay,
So I
there is
got
one
some
question.
queries. Just let me see.
Can I ask one question?
Please, ma'am. Please, ma'am. Please, please.
Yeah, there is always, I have seen, कि कुछ ladies लोग जो है, females है या जो हमारे colleagues है, some of them get offended if we write MS, or some of them get offended when we write MRS, Mrs. या Miss. तो ये हमेशा एक conflicting situation होती है कि सामने वाले को बुरा लगेगा या अच्छा लगेगा. तो मुझे लगता है ये
Very
भी जेंडर
super.
की बात होती है. और मेन का ऐसा है कि मिस्टर ही रहते हैं वो, पहले भी और बाद में भी, आफ्टर मैरिज. सो उसके
Well
बारे में
said.
कुछ बताएं हमको.
जी मैम, आपने बहुत वैलिड पॉइंट क्वेश्चन किया है, बट यहाँ पे पता है, यहाँ पे जेंडर नहीं है. इट इज अ कॉर्पोरेट नॉमेनक्लेचर वेयर वी आर सपोज टू राइट MS ओनली. Now we have to stop. Each and everyone listening to me, please make sure never ever write MRS. Again, it is not a gender concern. Asya ma'am, we are not doing something wrong. हम ना ही गलत कर रहे हैं, ना ही हमने कोई प्रेजुडाइज बनाया है, और ना ही हमने जेंडर्ड कमेंट किया है. ऐसा हमने कुछ नहीं किया है. It is just a code of conduct which has been decided that we need to use MS. For example, chairperson.
Yes.
Earlier it was chairman, chairwomen. Now it is chairperson, because now it is an individual way of communication. So we are bound by the ethics and code of conduct that we need to write MS. We need to stop writing Mrs. So हम गलत नहीं है आसिया मैम. वी आर नॉट रॉन्ग एट ऑल. मिस्टर के केस में तो वो मिस्टर ही है. एंड दिस इज समथिंग द बेनिफिट, क्या बेनिफिट ऑफ डाउट ही है उनके लिए तो एक तरीके से. बट स्टिल वी हैव टू. और एक और चीज बताना चाहूंगी, अगर सब लोग मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं. नाउ देर इज एन इंटरनेशनल जेंडर न्यूट्रल प्रीफिक्स, राइट. थोड़ा सा हमें गो थ्रू करना चाहिए, ईच एंड एवरी वन आउट देयर. पता नहीं हमें कब किसी घड़ी मौका मिले इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पे बात करने का या इंटरनेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म पे काम करने का. ऑलवेज कीप योर सेल्फ रेडी. हमेशा रेडी रहो, कभी भी मौका मिले तो जेंडर न्यूट्रल स्टेटमेंट्स देने की, क्योंकि तुम्हें सुनने वाला भारतीय नहीं है. वहां तुम्हें सुनने वाला बहुत सारे नॉन भारतीय है जो शायद हमारे कल्चर को और हमारी खामियों को शायद नहीं समझ पाए. समझ आ रहा. I make sense, Asya ma'am. We as a part of academic fraternity, we can actually try in our course of action, regular course of action.
Correct. You are absolutely correct, madam. We have to have
hello,
in our conversations gender neutral statements.
Yeah. I'm Amita Gaikwad from HECS department.
Okay.
I will like to I want one example where we can go gender neutral, like
In the
how to
academic setup,
address
ma'am. In the academic
everywhere,
setup, in
everywhere,
the
everywhere.
corporate setup, in our routine life, ऐसा कोई एग्जांपल स्पेसिफिक सुनना चाहेंगे?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल अपने घर से देना स्टार्ट करती हूँ, फिर हम कॉलेज चलते हैं, क्योंकि हम कॉलेज में पढ़ाते हैं, तो हम कॉलेज का एक एग्जांपल और लेते हैं, और फिर हम जब रास्ते में ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं उसका भी बात करते हैं। ठीक है, सो हमारा पूरा रेगुलर रूटीन यहाँ पे आ जाएगा। ठीक
Okay.
है, सो स्टार्टिंग विद आवर ओन स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द डे। ठीक है, आप जब हम घर में बैठे हैं तो इंस्टेड ऑफ आस्किंग your wife or asking your daughter to bring a glass of water, always call your son to get a glass of water. Make a habit of asking. अगर आपका बेटा नहीं है या आपका बेटी ही है तो मेक अ हैबिट, आप अपनी डॉटर के साथ में ये चीज जरूर शेयर करोगे कि चाय बनाना, अगर मैं थक के आई हूं तो मेरे लिए आवाज देने के लिए कभी भी मेरी बेटी का आवाज नहीं आना चाहिए। मुझे ये नहीं बोलना है कि बिटिया तू मेरा लिए चाय बना दे। इवन दो जब आप अपने हस्बैंड के साथ भी बात कर रहे हैं, आपको कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, मैं मानती हूं कि आपको कोई फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस नहीं चाहिए, आपको अपनी सैलरी म्यूचुअली शेयर करनी है, वो सब बराबर है, लेकिन आप उनके साथ बैठ के बात करिए। डोंट गिव द एंटायर फ्रीडम ऑफ टेकिंग फाइनेंशियल डिसीजन टू योर बेटर हाफ। सेम हैपेंस व्हेन यू आर प्लानिंग अ ट्रिप। आप जब प्लानिंग कर रहे हो ट्रिप की, और आप जब कोई भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट खरीद रहे हो, अपने बेटे को बुला के उससे मोबाइल का कौन सा ब्रांड होगा, कौन सा अच्छा है, वो बात मत करिए। इट इज गिविंग अ नेगेटिव, इट इज गिविंग अ जेंडर ड्रीमा कि लड़कों को इलेक्ट्रॉनिक गैजेट ज्यादा पता होंगे, कार्स के बारे में ज्यादा पता होगा। अगेन जब आप खाना बना रहे हो, खाना बनाते वक्त भी बहुत सारे स्मॉल स्मॉल, ये हम इंटेंशनली नहीं करते। आई एम टेलिंग यू ईच एंड एवरीवन, हम इंटेंशनली नहीं करते, ये हमसे हो जा रहा है। ठीक है, रही बात, अब हम कॉलेज आ चुके हैं, कॉलेज में आने के बाद भी व्हेन यू एंटर द क्लास, व्हेन यू गिव द सेशन ऑल्सो, क्लासेस ऑल्सो, वहां पे आप कोशिश करिए, अगर कोई भी तरह का, मेरी क्लास में जनरली ऐसा होता है, जब कोई लड़की खड़ी होके बोलती है तो पीछे से कोई ना कोई साउंड आएगा उसको परेशान करने के लिए, एंड व्हेन दे डू सब मस्ती मजाक, तो मस्ती मजाक में जेंडर न्यूट्रल नहीं कमेंट आना चाहिए। ठीक है, अभी अब सॉरी, जेंडर्ड कमेंट नहीं आना चाहिए। जेंडर्ड कमेंट क्या होता है? आई रिपीट, जेंडर्ड कमेंट इज समथिंग विच इज हर ओन चॉइस, सोशल स्टिग्मा को ब्रेक करने के लिए। ठीक है, तो ये हमारा रेगुलर कोर्स ऑफ दिस थिंग है। अब आप रिक्शा में बैठे हो, आप, ये हमारी आदत है, लेकिन हम थोड़ा सा कोशिश कर सकते हैं। हम कई बार रिक्शा वाले को भैया बोलते हैं, और भैया बोलना भी चाहिए, इसमें कोई गलत नहीं है, लेकिन हम उनसे पूछ सकते हैं, उनसे एब्सोल्युटली पूछ सकते हैं कि आप, अगर कैसा आपका दिन कैसा था, आपका दिन कैसा था। इट मीन्स जब वो अपना नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट देगा, यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि उसको हमें भैया बोलने से कितना खुशी है। कई बार ऐसा देखा गया है, क्योंकि हमने अपना दिमाग में फिट कर लिया है कि ट्रांसजेंडर कहाँ होंगे, ट्रांसजेंडर एक फैमिली सेटअप में है, जो रिक्शा वाले हैं वो सारे भैया हैं, राइट। और एक जो बार बार हम तालियां बजाते हैं ना, क्लास में कोई लड़की उठ के है ना आंसर देती है, क्लैप फॉर द गर्ल। नो, मतलब अगर लड़की ने सही जवाब दिया है तो इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है लड़के अगर सही जवाब देते हैं तो। बीइंग अ गर्ल, अभी देखो आप, हमसे कई बार ऐसी गलती हुई है, बीइंग अ गर्ल यू हैव डन अ ग्रेट जॉब। सो गर्ल, लड़की है तो हमारा फिजिकल स्ट्रक्चर अलग है, हमारी प्रेफरेंसेस अलग हैं, बट बीइंग अ गर्ल, आपने कोई, बिकॉज नाउ वी आर एम्पावर्ड, अपने दिमाग में फिट कर लो दैट वी आर एम्पावर्ड इनफ। It's just that we need to aware more. We need to more inclusive more. We need to empathize, empathetic more. I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other question?
One more thing, ma'am,
Yes.
okay, like if I'm into some international conference, if I want to address someone, like while
Yes.
addressing you, I have said Dr. Vaishali Oza. If it was
Correct.
not a prefect of doctor or a professor or something like that, so instead of Miss, Mr., Mrs., what should I use?
Never use.
Okay.
It is the international nomenclature. You have to ask.
Okay.
We have to ask them, could you please tell me your prefix? Could you please tell me how I should address you? और एक और तरीका होता है मैम, एक शॉर्टकट ये भी है, आप उनकी पब्लिक प्रोफाइल देख लीजिए। जनरली जितने भी इंटरनेशनल स्पीकर्स होते हैं ना, या सेटअप्स होते हैं, उसमें ब्रैकेट में हर सेल्फ और हिम और हिमसेल्फ वो लिखा रहता है।
Okay.
सो ये सबके लिए है। हाँ, डोंट कॉल देम मिस्टर मिस, और बिकॉज इसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है। हाँ, मैंने आसिया मैम को भी यही चीज बोला कि हम गलत नहीं कर रहे हैं। इट जस्ट दैट क्योंकि हम पब्लिक प्लेसेस पे है ना, तो हमारे लिए वो एक तरीके से एक तलवार लटक रही है कि हमारा बोला हुआ हर वर्ड किसी इंसान के रूटीन कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन को अफेक्ट कर सकता है। जैसे एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देती हूँ, आई डोंट नो, यू माइट बी सिटिंग विद मेल फीमेल सॉरी मेल फैकल्टीज ऑल्सो। आपके यहाँ पे जो स्टाफ रूम है उसमें मेल्स फैकल्टी भी होते होंगे, उसी तरह से जो कोएड नहीं है। ओके, इट इज एंटायर
We
वुमेन
have one
ओनली।
admin staff. We have
ओके,
one admin staff.
एडमिन है। ओके, परफेक्ट परफेक्ट। चलो, एडमिन भी नहीं है आपके सोशल सेटअप में, सोशल सेटअप इन द सेंस फ्रेंड्स, इन सब में कई बार आपको ये बोला जाता है, वैशाली दिस कलर सूट्स यू, वी शुड वियर साड़ी मोर। So this comment is acceptable from a friend. Mark my words. But this statement on a public setup, on a professional front, and from a friend will not be accepted because वहां पे दो तीन लोग और खड़े हैं. So it is a colored remark which comes under ICC. हम कुछ गलत नहीं है, हमारे कॉन्डक्ट कुछ जगह पे गलत मीनिंग साउंड करते हैं। आई हैव मेल फ्रेंड्स इन माई कॉलेज, बट हमें जब हम पब्लिक एरिया में हैं तब हमें सोच के बोलना पड़ता है, क्योंकि हमारे कॉन्वर्सेशन से दूसरे कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन इफेक्ट हो सकते हैं।
True.
इट्स जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल, मैम।
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you for the question, lovely question. I think I got one chat. I need to see
Oh,
that.
yeah, ma'am. There are many questions in the chat box from us.
Yes. I'm just going through. Starting with, ma'am, we know that in the world, everywhere stated plus situation going on. So how to stop this situation? Can you give some tips? Kashfa. Kashfa, please correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. देखो, दुनिया तो बदल पाएंगे नहीं, ठीक है? बदलना खुद को है, पर हमारे पास बहुत लंबी लिस्ट है कि हमें क्या क्या बदलना है ना? ज्यादा कुछ दिमाग लगाना नहीं है बिल्कुल भी। बहुत छोटी सी शुरुआत करनी है। छोटी सी शुरुआत ये है, जिस चीज को तुम्हें लगता है कि ये पर्टिकुलर ओकेजन, पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी, पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन मुझे ये बार बार बता रहा है कि मैं लड़की हूं, मैं लड़की हूं, मैं लड़की हूं, मैं लड़की हूं, आपको वो चीज बंद करनी है। यही एक टिप्स है। पहले खुद के साथ वी नीड टू स्टॉप, वी हैव टू क्रिएट वन वॉल फॉर दोज कमेंट्स विच यू बिलीव आर जेंडर्ड कमेंट। जैसे आई टेल यू अगेन, आई टेल यू माई एग्जाम्पल, बिकॉज मैं मेरे ही एग्जाम्पल तुम्हें बता सकती हूँ। माई हाइट इज 5'11", इट इज नियर टू 6, ठीक है? एंड आई हैव बीन बुलिड लाइक एनीथिंग। लड़कों जैसी है, लड़कों जैसी दिखती है। ओके, और मैंने कभी भी, बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट टू प्रूव दैट आई एम अ गर्ल और आई एम अ फीमेल और आई एम अ वुमेन, मैंने कभी भी कुछ एफर्ट नहीं डाला। हाँ, तो काशफा, इट इज ऑल्सो वन टिप आई एम टेलिंग यू, दिस इज ऑल्सो द कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन दैट आई हैव चूजन। मैंने अपने लिए ये डिसाइड किया है, बिकॉज आई वॉन्ट टू प्रूव दैट आई एम अ फीमेल, आई एम अ वुमेन, आई एम अ गर्ल, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू चेंज द वे आई लिव। So this is, you are giving message to the society, to the society है क्या, हमारे आसपास के जो लोग हैं सब, वो सब सोसाइटी है। अगर ज्यादा लोग हैं तो बड़ी सोसाइटी है, कम लोग हैं तो कम छोटी सोसाइटी है, राइट? तो तुम्हें अपने आप पे कोई ऐसा तरीके का अत्याचार नहीं करना है कि नहीं भाई मैं औरत हूं तो मुझे ऐसा दिखना पड़ेगा, मेरी हाइट 6 फीट हो ही नहीं सकती, बिकॉज इट इज नियर टू 6 फीट। तो आई ऑलवेज से कि मैं 6 फीट हूँ तो मुझे साड़ी लंबी पहननी पड़ेगी, मेरे लंबे, आई हैव वेरी वेरी थिन हेयर्स, तो मुझे बालों का ट्रीटमेंट कराना, दिस इज माई चॉइस। लंबे बाल, मोटे बाल, सुंदर आंखें लड़की नहीं बनाता, करेक्ट? दीज आर ऑल जेंडर डेफिनेशंस। ये अपने आप से शुरुआत करो, फिर तुम दुनिया देखो। right? I can take one more question.
There is one question from Ifra ma'am.
हाँ
Women quota, be it in job or education or opportunities, so whether it is gender equality or equity.
मैम एक बात बताती हूँ, इसी पे याद आ रहा है. देर आर सर्टन स्टेट्स जिसने इसको इक्विटी का नाम देते हुए इसको कोटा दिया है. टू बी वेरी प्रिसाइज, आई बिलोंग टू राजस्थान. ठीक है. सो इन माई स्टेट there are many schemes apart from the other central government schemes, and there are n number of jobs which are particularly having the quota for women, and it is the equity example of equity only. मैं आपको इसको और थोड़ा जस्टिफाई करती हूँ. आपका कहना होगा मैम कोई डिसेबिलिटी नहीं है तो फिर आप कोई आप वुमेन को कोटा क्यों दे रहे हो, उनको ज्यादा बड़ा. वो अगर इमेज देखी जाए ना, तो हमने क्या किया है, जो इक्विटी वाला जो स्टूल था ना, एक्स्ट्रा स्टूल हमने जो बच्चे को दिया था, वो हमने वुमेन को दिया है. आपको पता है क्यों दे रहे हैं? क्योंकि हमने पार्टीशन के बाद वुमेन के साथ में इतना ज्यादा अंडर प्रिविलेज बिहेव कर दिया है कि वो बहुत तबके से नीचे जा चुकी है. तो ये जो हमारे जो एफर्ट्स है ना, गिविंग देम जॉब वाला कोटा, गिविंग देम एजुकेशन वाला कोटा, वो सारे इतने साल का जो हमारा कर्म है ना, उसको बराबर करने के लिए है. टू बी वेरी ब्लंट, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट विद द क्वेश्चन, हमारे कुछ एक्शंस पुराने जो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट हो या फिर हमारा जो ये पास्ट पार्टीशन हुआ, उसके बाद जो चीजें थी, उसकी वजह से हम जेंडर इक्वालिटी में बहुत पीछे जा चुके हैं. दैट इज समहाउ अफेक्टिंग अवर इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट. I repeat, it is also affecting our economic development, and that is why they have to. They don't have choice only. They have to give the equity option to women, क्योंकि उनके challenges एक नजर से कुछ ज्यादा ग्रेविटी के हैं. एक नॉर्मल एजुकेशन के लिए घर में झगड़ा करना पड़ रहा है यार. Seriously, we have to tell. I always wanted to do a corporate job, but I don't say that मेरे पापा ने मुझे जॉब नहीं करने दिया. My dad told me the corporate space or industry space or company space is not safe for me. तो पापा ने मुझे कभी कंपनी जॉब नहीं कर. And I land up an academician. Though I always like to teach, but I land up with being an academician. पर इससे हमें क्या समझ मिल रही है कि मेरे लिए वो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी कभी भी इक्वल प्लेटफॉर्म दे ही नहीं पाई, है ना. सो कई हद तक नहीं. आई वुड टेल यू दैट इट इज वेरी मच रिक्वायर्ड.
चैट बॉक्स में से लिंक कॉपी कर और पेस्ट कर.
Manal, please mute yourself.
Perfect. Not an issue. I did that. मैम इफ्रा मैम, आई थिंक मे बी कुछ चीजें ऐसी होगी जिसपे आप मेरा अग्री नहीं करते हो. इट इज ओके, इट इज माई ओपिनियन. सो बट फॉर मी, इक्विटी मीन्स टू गिव द राइट, इक्वल राइट्स, बट कंसिडरिंग द चैलेंजेस. वो इमेज है ना, वो इमेज इसीलिए बार बार बताई जा रही है कि तुम ये चैलेंजेस कंसिडर करो. फ्लेक्सिबल वर्किंग आवर, मेरे को तो एक समझ नहीं आया आज तक, व्हाई वी आर नॉट गिविंग द फ्लेक्सिबल वर्किंग आवर्स. You are expecting women to cook. You are expecting women to come home and see the homework of the kids. You are expecting to see that student का open house हुआ या नहीं हुआ, exam चल रहे हैं या नहीं चल रहे हैं. तो why not flexible working hours? अभी टाइम है इस सबको आने में. ये मेरी बगावती जो चीजें हैं वो मेरे तक ही सीमित रहती है, बिकॉज आई एम अ काइंड ऑफ अ पर्सन जो बहुत कम गलत बर्दाश्त कर पाती है. मेरा बस चले ना चले, पर मैं बोलूंगी जरूर. दैट इज व्हाई आई सेड पार्टिसिपेट इन द डायलॉग. आप हर किसी को सही नहीं बता पाओगे, बट अगर मेरे को बोलने का मौका दिया गया है, स्पीक. आई होप इफ्रा मैम, yes.
Okay, nowadays, there's one more question. How we as a teacher change patriarchal mindset towards gender equality. This is from Dr. Jyotsna Sangore.
थैंक यू ज्योत्सना मैम. द क्वेश्चन इज वेरी डीप. सही बात बोली जाए तो ये बहुत डीप है. ये जो पेट्रियार्कल सोसाइटी की बात है ना, वो बहुत भारी भरकम है. और ज्योत्सना मैम, आपने इतना स्पेसिफिक. हाँ जी मैम.
But ma'am, our students are a student future, ma'am. So for the future teachers, how they change mindset of parents. That's why I.
राइट। मैं आपको एक अगेन मैं आपकी चीज बताऊं, हमें किसी की सोच नहीं बदलनी है और हम नहीं बदल पाएंगे। I tell you, this is my own experience. I'm 32-year-old. There are many things happening in my own house right now. ठीक है, अभी जब सेशन I live with my in-laws, ठीक है, there are many comments which are of patriarchal mindset. तो मैम दो चीजें हैं मेरे पास। एक चीज तो ये कि उनको मैं समझाऊं कि पापा आपको ये नहीं बोलना चाहिए, मम्मी क्या मेरी जो सास है उसको बोलूं कि मैं ये आप मत करिए। दूसरा चीज है वो ऐसा मैं बोल दूंगी तो उनको गुस्सा आ जाएगा, फिर वो मेरे से ढंग से बात नहीं करेंगे, फिर ये कंटिन्यू स्ट्रेच होगा। दूसरा तरीका है जब मेरी बारी आए तो मैं ऐसा एग्जाम्पल सेट करूं तो उनको समझ में आए, अरे हाँ यार जब मेरे वक्त हुआ था। फॉर एग्जाम्पल माई मदर इन लॉ ऑलवेज आस्क माई फादर इन लॉ 500 रुपए दोगे क्या, मुझे ये काम करना है या ऐसा करना है ऐसा करना है। बट माई मदर इन लॉ नोज दैट वैशाली विल नेवर आस्क गोपाल। Okay, it means she is very clear by the behavior and experiences. ये मेरा सोच है ज्योत्सना मैम, हम सबका सोच नहीं बदल पाएंगे। वी हैव टू एक्ट। हमारे कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन ना हमारी सोच बताते हुए रहना चाहिए, है ना। हम जैसे जी रहे हैं, हम ऐसे जैसे बोल रहे हैं, मैं जैसे जैसे मेरी बेटी से बात कर रही हूँ, है ना, ये मेरे छोटे छोटे चीजें हैं जो शायद किसी ना, सबको तो बदल नहीं पाएंगे, तो 10 में से एक बदल गया तो बहुत है अपने लिए।
Thank you so much.
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर द वंडरफुल क्वेश्चन। पैट्रियार्कल माइंडसेट बहुत डीप डाइव सोसाइटी में है। वी आर फॉर्चुनेट दैट वी आर सिटिंग इन अ सिटी जहाँ पे ग्रेविटी कम है, यहाँ पे भी है पर ग्रेविटी इसकी कम है। अदर स्टेट्स में बहुत हाई इंटेंसिटी से प्रॉब्लम्स है सब चीजों की। यस मैम, एनी
Yes,
मोर क्वेश्चन?
thank you,
हाँ
ma'am.
जी,
Thank you. I think this was the last question in the chat box. Yeah, this was the last question.
थैंक यू मैम। इट वॉज एक्चुअली एनरिचिंग सेशन। हाँ, मुझे क्वेश्चन आंसर बहुत पसंद है। एंड आई एम रियली थैंकफुल फॉर शाइन, विजय मैम, ज्योत्सना मैम, इफ्रा, जिसके नाम मैं याद कर पा रही हूँ, जूली, फॉर टेकिंग दिस इंटरेक्शन इन सच अ ब्यूटिफुल वे, आसिया मैम, ऑल वर फैंटास्टिक।
मैम एक और लास्ट क्वेश्चन है।
प्लीज प्लीज मैम
स्टूडेंट्स
प्लीज।
को अगर जेंडर इक्विटी के बारे में उनको अगर स्टडी करना है बहुत, उसको एज अ एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, तो आर द कोर्सेज अवेलेबल वेयर दे कैन गो एंड वेयर दे कैन स्टडी
वेल
एंड
पॉइंटेड, मेरे पास
दे
दो
कैन
चीजें
बिकम
हैं।
एक्सपर्ट्स इन दिस।
मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊंगी मेरी गुरु की। मेरी गुरु जेंडर स्टडीज के लिए है डॉक्टर विभूति पटेल।
जी, आई नो
ओके सो मैं जितना ये सोच रही हूँ ना, जो मेरी समझ है, आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम अ वेरी कंजर्वेटिव फैमिली मैम। मेरा इतना जो जबान चल रहा है ना, इतना समझ जो है, समझ इन द सेंस मैं जो घर पे इम्प्लीमेंट कर रही हूँ, जो बगावती मेरा नेचर है, ये सब ना विभूति मैम को सुनने के बाद आया है। ठीक है, मैं उनकी जब जर्नी, उनके इंटरव्यूज पढ़ती हूँ, मैं उनके साथ काम करती हूँ, मैं शी इज समथिंग, आई आई एम इंस्पायर्ड बाय हर लाइक एनीथिंग, है ना। तो मेरे लिए वो ट्रिगर था। आपका पॉइंट बहुत वैलिड है, अगर किसी को और डीप डाइव स्टडी करनी है तो वो कैसे कर सकता है। देर आर मेनी कोर्सेज, आई प्रिफर टिस। टिस इज द बेस्ट प्लेस टू एक्सप्लोर कोर्सेज ऑन जेंडर स्टडीज। देर इज सेकेंड मोर, जो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट पोर्टल है ILO का, इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। इसके कुछ फ्री कोर्सेज है, हालांकि 250 कोर्सेज है टोटल, लेकिन उसमें 51 कोर्सेज आर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। जो अदर जो 200 कोर्सेज है ना, वो बहुत एक्सपेंसिव है, $2300 और इसी रेंजेस के हैं। अगर आपको सेल्फ मोड पे लर्निंग करनी है और सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए, यू कैन डिस्कस मोर ऑन, यू कैन एक्सप्लोर मोर ऑन इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, दैट इज ILO। देर इज वन मोर पोर्टल जो कि बहुत ब्यूटीफुली गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया अच्छे से पब्लिश कर रही है और बहुत अपडेट कर रही है, वो है स्वयं। जो स्वयं का मूक पोर्टल है, उस पे आप अगर फिल्टर डालोगे तो बहुत एक्सीलेंट कोर्सेज मिलेंगे। पर मैं वो थोड़ा प्रिफर कम करती हूँ, क्योंकि मैंने बोला ना, मेरे लिए जेंडर स्टडीज की डेफिनेशन डॉक्टर विभूति है। तो अगर मुझे कोई क्वेरी होगा ना, आई जस्ट सिंपली कॉल हर। There is one more lady, Dr. Sangeeta Desai. She is also from TIS. मैं इसीलिए TIS के लिए वाउच करती हूँ मैम. मैंने आज तक जिस भी TIS पर्सन से बात किया है, जिसके साथ मैंने काम किया है, थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च किया है, आई वॉज फॉर्चुनेट टू मीट दैम. उनसे मुझे विजन मिला है एक. तो कभी किसी को करियर परस्यू करना है, सो प्लीज ट्राई हाउ टू गेट द एंट्री इन टिस एज अ लर्नर. एज अ लर्नर वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. शायद काम करने गए तो शायद काम में ही फंसे रह जाएंगे, बट अगर लर्निंग के लिए जाना है तो हाउ यू कैन गेट. आई एम नॉट दैट मच फॉर्चुनेट मैम कि मेरा सारा स्टडी राजस्थान में हुआ, बट अगर मुझे आज भी मौका मिले एक बार फिर से स्टूडेंट बनने का, आई वुड बी मोस्ट फॉर्चुनेट टू बी द स्टूडेंट ऑफ डॉक्टर विभूति.
Okay, madam. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
thank you, ma'am.
And
There
we
is
will on this platform, I give my assurance to all our students that maybe inshallah next International Women's Day पर हम डॉक्टर विभूति पटेल मैडम को बुलाएंगे and we'll hear from.
And book her calendar 3 months before. She is booked
she's
like
very
an
busy. Yes, ma'am.
yes, she is extremely busy. And मैम एक बहुत बड़ी बात बताती हूँ, शी इज अ लेडी. वो आपसे आपका क्रेडेंशियल कभी नहीं पूछेगी, कितने बच्चे हैं, कौन सी कॉलेज है, आप कौन हो, उनसे उनको कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. व्हेन शी स्पीक्स, शी जस्ट वांट टू कम्युनिकेट फॉर द जेंडर. एंड आप थोड़ा और एक्सप्लोर करोगे तो आई थिंक जितने भी वुमेन स्टडीज के लिए है ना, वो सब विभूति मैम
हाँ
को.
वो उनका बहुत नाम है और काफी पकड़ है ये सब्जेक्ट पे. आई नो हर, आई हैव रेड हर एंड आई वांट टू मीट हर. So now
Yes,
you have
yes.
triggered this.
Let me know, ma'am, if
Definitely.
anything comes in upcoming year also, if you are organizing some conferences and if you want me to connect with her, if you want me to try
Thank you
once
so much.
to drag her to your campus, let me know. I'll try my best.
Thank you so much. We'll not wait for 1 year. We will do it immediately
Perfect,
in the
perfect.
next academic year for our
Yes.
students. Thank you
Thank you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you
Yes,
so
Prince.
much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for delivering such an engaging and informative speech and presentation. And really, very, very thank you. Special thanks for the effort you have taken to conduct such a wonderful quiz. Really, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you,
it
ma'am. Thank
was
you so
all
much.
from the heart, direct from the heart to reach the heart of the students.
Yes, yes,
We could make
absolutely.
this, we can make it
I
out.
can see your faces, ma'am. See, simply, I really appreciate that you have because it is not about the thank you, हाँ. मैं भी प्रोफेसर असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर हूँ. मुझे पता है कई बार हम वोट ऑफ थैंक्स देते हैं, फॉर्मल वोट ऑफ थैंक्स देते हैं. हमारी आवाज में और टोन में वो कहीं ना कहीं वो इमोशन आएगा ही फॉर्मेलिटी का. बट आई कैन फील दैट इमोशन, दैट आई कैन सी ऑन योर फेसेस एंड आई कैन feel in your voices also. So thank you so much for appreciating the efforts.
Thank you so much, madam. And I can see Yasmin Saifullah madam is there. Madam has connected us. I would like to introduce her to everyone, to both our speakers and all our students. Yasmin Saifullah madam is the executive chairperson of Board of Professional and Higher Education, Anjuman-I-Islam. And our college comes under the jurisdiction of
I have to speak.
madam.
Okay.
Madam has served as a chairperson of Exhibition Committee, Trans-Asian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Madam has also served as an advisor at United Business Media India Private Limited, and with over 38 years of experience, Yasmin Saifullah madam has been instrumental in promoting India's exports and enhancing the country's image on global stage. She has achieved this through organizing trade fairs and exhibitions which serve as a platform for showcasing Indian products and attracting investment and tourism in India. Madam has got a lot of recognition from Government of India. She has received Mahila Shiromani Award in the year 1992, Bharat Nirman Award in the year 1997, Indira Gandhi Priyadarshini Award in 1998, Bharat Nirman Award for Women again in 1996, Women Executive of the Year in the year 1989. Ma'am's contribution is immense even in the academic sphere, and she has developed a course on export marketing and management at the University of Mumbai in the year 1999. Yasmin Saifullah Madam's extensive experience, accolades, and contributions to education and business makes her a notable figure in the field of export promotion and professional and even in education in India. Ma'am, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, I would like to welcome everybody. I'm very happy to see both the professors today who have come to talk to all of you. And it has been a great day for me to see all of them and participate in your program, Asya. And I would like to tell all of them how wonderful you have been in the college and how much work you have done for your college and all for the students over the years. Year after year, you're working and harder and getting more and more students to come and study and work with you. Do different items of discipline you have shown them, art of drawing, also embroidery, then stitching, then ladies' clothes, apart from cooking and all the delicacies that they are making in their kitchen. So these children are learning a lot from your college, Asya. I'm very proud of um, your own particular qualifications also and how much you have done all over the years. I'm very happy to meet the ladies and see them today and glad that you had a good program. It has gone off well, the program. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So I'm very proud that you have managed to get all these very important people from different colleges to come and speak to you. And especially the lady who is also elderly person like me, maybe not as old as me, but a little aged, but still she's also doing a lot of work for the community, for the public, for the women in general. And I think I'm very proud that all of you girls also should remember that when you grow older and as you go more qualified, you have to work for the community, for the people, and all your parents for who have brought you up and who have spent a lot of time and money to teach you and to bring you all up. So, girls, please keep this all in mind when you grow older. But I'm very proud of the college, Asia's College, and I'm very happy that to be here to talk to you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. Over to Ifra.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope everybody have enjoyed
ये
sessions.
दूसरा नहीं दिख रहा है मेरे को.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes. So I would, first thank Vaishali ma'am that for your inspiring thought, what you have shared, and I hope our students and me myself have taken some take-home message from your session that to change the society, it is first who we have to change first. So thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to invite Ms. Athira Mohanan, Assistant Professor from our Food Science and Nutrition Department and our IQAC member to give vote of thanks. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of our college, Anjuman-I-Islam's Begum, Jamila, Haji, Abdul College of Home Science, Management and Principal, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining us today for this insightful webinar. Girls, can you please mute yourself? I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to our esteemed speakers, Professor Amina Kishori and Dr. Vaishali Oja, for sharing their expertise and valuable insights on their respective topics, empowering girls through education, breaking barriers to access and success, and gender stereotypes in education, impact on academic performance and career choices. Your knowledge and passion have truly enriched our understanding and inspired us to dwell deeper into the subject matter. I also want to extend our gratitude to all the participants who actively engaged in the discussions, asked thought-provoking questions, and contributed to the interactive nature of this webinar. Your enthusiasm and eagerness to learn have made this event a truly enriching experience for everyone involved. And a very big thank you to Yasmin ma'am for joining us and encouraging us to conduct more sessions like this. Thank you, ma'am. Furthermore, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Asia Ahmed Radiowala Madam, for organizing this national webinar. Your proactive approach in arranging such informative sessions truly enhances our learning experience and motivates us to work harder. I thank my colleagues and technical teams for their seamless execution in ensuring that today's webinar ran smoothly without any glitches. Your dedication and professionalism are truly commendable. In closing, I want to express our gratitude once again to everyone who played a part in making this webinar a success. We look forward to your continued participation in future events. Thank you all and have a very wonderful evening. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form. Only if you fill the feedback form, we'll be able to share the certificates with you all. And within a week, you will be getting the certificates on the register email. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's be connected.
Yes, yes, yes. Looking forward to meeting
Vaishali
you all.
and Professor Amina Kishore. Let's be connected, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.